Raise the stick is a term we hear a lot. They're fighting it a little bit. What are the fundamentals? What are the basics you need to go back to when you are not scoring the way you'd like?
Well, you go back to the basics. That's what you do. You start over again and say, okay, guys, let's remember, this is the start of the new season. We need to win this game right now. Let's just put it all together. Let's communicate on the ice. You know they had a closed-door meeting the night after the game. They were not very happy with the result. They weren't happy with their effort. And they've got to find a way to build that effort up. I don't mind a team losing when they play hard and they lose. That's okay. But when you're not playing hard and you lose, that's something you have to look at.
There's a 5-1 loss to the Blues here on Saturday that sets the Wild record now at 37-25 and 5, 79 points. All of a sudden, that playoff cushion we talked about for a number of weeks down to 6 points for Minnesota. That's ahead of both the second wild card team and the 9th seed, the non-playoff parties in the Western Conference. A 5-1 loss to the Blues, their first loss to St. Louis in the season series, outshot 27-18 in that hockey game. The LA Kings come in 36-20 and 9. They beat the Predators 1-0 in overtime Saturday. They've won 5 straight. Quentin Byfield had the game winner in OT at the 3:20 mark Saturday. But the vibe I get from the Kings, maybe they're not so thrilled with their game either, Tom. They had a bit of a skid. Now all of a sudden they won 5 in a row, points in 6 straight. As you see LA kind of move throughout this season, what stands out?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Joe. The fact that the 6 games they've gone 5-0-1, but the previous 4 games they went 0-3-1. So it does come in stretches, and we've seen that with Minnesota. We've seen it with every team. Every team in the NHL, I would say, if I go back and look at the records, has a blip during the course of the year. Some have more and longer blips. That's what you're looking at right now. But Minnesota just has to forget what's happened before. This is a new game. This could be the game that puts them in the playoffs.
As for the Kings, back-to-back shutout wins during this 5-game winning streak, and just 1 total goal allowed the last 3 games. The puck drops next in the season finale between these two teams. It's the Wild and the Kings from St. Paul. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
At the Home Depot, we know the world is a messy place. Keeping it clean takes science. That's why businesses everywhere have long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now, that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional-grade cleaning products for all your home's needs, so you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
There's only one thing better than going to a Minnesota Wild game, and for me, that's breakfast. My breakfast always has to include Thomas's. They've got the crispy, warm nooks and crannies of a Thomas's English muffin, or sometimes I'll go with a crunchy on the outside Thomas's bagel. For me, Thomas's is the best way to start my day, and it should be yours too. With over 130 years of breakfast under their belt, Thomas's is ready to bring your breakfast to another level, because with Thomas's, breakfast tastes better.
Traveling with the Minnesota Wild has never been easier. Introducing Wild Travel, a book seats experience, the official fan travel platform of your Minnesota Wild. It's your one-stop shop to bundle game tickets with flights and hotels, saving you up to 30%. With Wild Travel, you can customize your official Minnesota Wild package for any game and never worry about hidden fees. Plan your next trip today at bookseats.com. Wild Travel, a book seats experience.
Hey Wild fans, Minnesota-based and family-owned Old Dutch Foods has been creating taste sensations for generations of hometown Wild fans for over 90 years. Stock up on your favorite Old Dutch game day snacks at your local grocery stores to make game day a win. Old Dutch is a proud supporter of Wild hockey. Let's go Wild!
Old Dutch potato chips.
Old Dutch, the snappy chips.
Old Dutch, quality lives here.
Snappy Old Dutch potato chips.
Crank it up. Wild hockey starts now.
Middleton through the slot, waited, took a shot.
Minnesota Wild Hockey is presented in part by Toyota, official vehicle of the Minnesota Wild. Anderson Windows and Doors. Catalyst Supply Co. Boost your build.
Let's play hockey.
Your Bryant Heating and Cooling Dealers. Tria Orthopedics, official team physicians of the Minnesota Wild. XL Energy, proudly powering the great state of hockey with safe, clean, and reliable energy. And by Acrosure.
Watch me do my thing. Watch me do my thing.
Brock Faber with an unbelievable play.
Here's Tom Reed and Joe O'Donnell.
Like it ain't no thing, yeah. Watch me.
From the Al Shaver Press Box, XL Energy Center, St. Paul, Minnesota. Joe O'Donnell, Tom Reed back here with you. Ready to go. The Wild and the Kings. LA winning the first two meetings by a combined score of 9-2. A 5-1 win here in this building in early November. A month later in LA, 4-1. Out shooting the Wild in both games. Gustafsson and Kemper, the goaltending matchup. The Wild from right to left on your radio dial in the opening period. Tonight wearing their retros, the 78s. The Kings from left to right in the opening period, donning their white sweaters this evening. Trenyon hacks one in. It's Hinostroza. And Trenyon on the wings with Ryan Hartman. Again, no Marcus Foligno. A late scratch for the Wild. Hinostroza spins left side. Swept it down in the corner. Mikey Anderson, Roseville native, cut it off. He was immediately bottled up. A half minute in. The Wild try and dig a puck free here. Trenyon left circle. Wanted to muscle it in front. It's swept away by Philip Deneau and handed out to center ice by Trevor Moore.
And Joe, that was a good start by Minnesota. That first shift that they were hitting, Hinostroza leading the way.
Kings with a breakout pass for Andrzej Kopitar, their longtime leader. And now it's Adrian Kempe bursting ahead off to Kuzmenko for a shot. Stick save by Gustafsson. Andrei Kuzmenko with his third team. He started with the Flames, was traded to the Flyers, spent a cup of coffee in Philly, and now he's with Los Angeles. Gustav Nyquist through his own slot. Middleton tried a headman. It rattles around. Picking it up over the blue line. Left wing side is Marco Rossi. Rossi hands it to the point. Middleton had the only goal Saturday with a long wrister. And is trapped by Darcy Kemper.
Yeah, good shot by Middleton. Also coming from that left point position. He scored 8 goals so far this year. That's his career best in the NHL. He's also had 138 blocked shots, and that leads the team in that department. But he certainly has been very good for Minnesota on that left side. He and Faber working well together. Faber's got to pick up his game, Joe. He certainly has faltered a little bit as of late. I'll get into some of the numbers a little bit later.
Off the draw, puck comes to the point. Middleton holds it in, smacked it down low. It's ratcheted along by Jordan Spence. Cut off. Zuccarello tries to throw it through the slot. Batting a bouncing puck along with Johansson, and now it's Freddie Gaudreau weaving it down below the goal line for Johansson. Marcus Johansson bottled up. Fiala touches it along. And now slowed down big Quentin Byfield, and that draws this play offside. Byfield got his third overtime winner of the season on Saturday for LA.
Yeah, he's a big body. Also 6'5", 225 pounds out of Newmarket, Ontario. You look at his size, and boy, he has been absolutely terrific with his club. 65 games this year, and he's picked up 17 goals to go along with 23 assists. And Joe, he's a guy who certainly is the only guy in between the two teams who are on a streak right now who's got 6 assists in the last 6 games.
Off the draw, the Kings have it in the neutral zone. The first ever Australian to play in the NHL, Jordan Spence, shoves it in for LA. Faber back behind his own net looking for Middleton. It was turned over. That bouncing puck gave Middleton some trouble, but it's Marcus Johansson to come away with the loose puck. He'll swing back inside his own zone, all the way around the net of Gustafsson, then hooked it free. Middleton flies it rink wide. Faber pressured immediately by Hellenius. Samuel Hellenius, 6'6", 201 pounds, starting to find a regular home in this Kings lineup. As Turcotte now for LA. Their fourth line on the ice. Turcotte danced to the left wing side and wristed one that's gloved by Gustafsson.
Yeah, good shot by Turcotte. Also a good save by Gustafsson. Had thrown that left glove of his as he went from his left to his right to grab onto that, and that's going to bring the faceoff to his right. These two teams have met 87 times. Minnesota's record is 42, 30, and 15. Of course, the LA Kings came in the expansion year 1967-68. With the North Stars back in those days.
Off the face-off, Bogosian right wing corner, bunts it ahead. Brazo taps in. Back is Drew Doughty. Doughty reverses. Tanner Jeannot, the former Nashville Predator. Banned on his pass, and then on a second effort worked it to Hellenius, off to Turcotte, finding Doughty coming late. He'll turn him backhand one off the glass and wide. Bogosian swept it along, trickling it free. Brendan Gaunce, who is in the lineup for the injured Marcus Foligno. Gaunce playing in his first game after being scratched in the previous 5, icing here on Minnesota, with 2:46 gone by in the first and no score.
Yeah, Joe, you mentioned Gaunce also in his 9th year in the NHL. Just has 182 games in the NHL in that stretch, but he's He's only played 7 games this year. It's really tough when you get into a situation like this, too. I mean, you want to get that game condition, but if you're not in the game, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But he's hopefully can fill the gap here for Minnesota, as we said before, with Foligno out of the lineup with a upper body injury.
Brendan Gaunt's one of a couple of players that was being skated by the assistant coach as well after the optional morning skate wrapped up. That would usually be the indication that he wasn't expected to play. But again, Foligno, game time decision, couldn't give it a go. So Gaunt draws in. By the way, his brother Cameron, Brendan Gaunt's brother Cameron, spent a few years in the Kings system recently with the Ontario Reign, their AHL team. Hinestro's off the rush, threw one in front. It bounced down in front. Trenyon had a backhander go wide. Yakov Trenyon does have 4 career goals against the Kings, including one this year with Minnesota. Spurgeon fires a shot. That tipped high and wide. Chisholm pinches in to bottle up Trevor Moore. And now it's shifted along by Brant Clark. And this puck ends up now out of play in the Kings bench, right by backup goaltender David Reddick, with 3.5 minutes gone by in the first.
Yeah, Minnesota being a little aggressive in this first period also physically. They're taking the bodies as much as they can. That's the best way to slow down a team. If they're giving you a lot of trouble, get in front of them, use the body, take them out of the play. And that call is going to have the face-off inside the defensive zone of the LA Kings.
TR, for a guy like Marcus Foligno, vocal leader, emotional, physical leader, you know, with the team in a bit of a rut right now, scoring goals and not winning the last 2 times out, I'm assuming that he was doing everything he could to play tonight, obviously, and he's got to be gutted that he's not able to be in the lineup.
Look at if he's hurt, if he's out of the lineup, you know he's hurt. There's no question about it. And of course, he is one of the leaders both on and off the ice with his hockey team. He wears that A for a reason, and I'm sure he's pretty vocal in that dressing room the other night too after that loss. And Minnesota's got to find a way to get that energy to each one of these players out here. And the best way to do that is just to play your game, play hard, get that first goal, and the energy level will increase as soon as you do that.
Kings wind one in. Previous sequence ended with a whistle because the puck hit the curved glass on the Wild bench. Kempe at center, back for Spence as the Kings dump it in. Kopitar on the forecheck, rips it around the boards. Grabbing it to the left of Gustafsson was Kempe. He'll connect with Kuzmenko. And Gavrikov back across for Andrei Kuzmenko. His wrister was blocked by Chisholm. Kicks off the end wall. Scooped up by Spurgeon. Handed along to Chisholm. Back to Spurgeon and flexed out right side for Zuccarello to tap in just ahead of Kopitar. And on the forecheck goes Marcus Johansson. The Kings break it out cleanly. Kuzmenko's feed deflected. And LA regroups now at center once more as both teams change on the fly. In front of his bench is Kevin Fiala, who since the trade has 10 points in 8 games against the Wild. And all time in this building, as an opponent, as a Wild player, 103 points in 114 games at XL Energy Center for Kevin Fiala. We've got a penalty call here, and it's going to be on Minnesota.
Oh boy.
Minnesota number 23, minor penalty slashing.
So that's not what you need, but Rossi's going to the penalty box right now, getting the first penalty of this hockey game, coming up 4 minutes and 42 seconds of the scoreless first period. You know, one thing, if you're not good on your PK, you better stay out of the penalty box, and that's one area Minnesota's not been very good this year. They ranked 30th overall in the PK, 49 goals scored against them 170 times. And you look at the LA Kings, they rank 28th on the power play at 15.2%. Their last 7, they picked up 2 for 14.
Fiala had the Jets going. Rossi knocked the puck away, but did so by kind of slashing the stick of Fiala. Not much there, but the call was made. Kempe from below the goal line. It comes along, Fiala drive blocked. Freddie Gaudreau got in the lane. Doughty holds in, left side Fiala, cross ice, Kempe scores. Adrian Kempe, short side high. And the Kings off and running with a power play goal, 4:59 in.
Yeah, and those goals hurt. There's no question about it. When Minnesota scores first in 39 games this year, they've gone 27-10-2 in the opposition right now, that being the Kings. And this is their 35th game. They now scored first 25, or 25, 6-4 in that stretch. So they get that first goal with the man advantage again, and this has been the area that has killed Minnesota all season long, and they have not found a way to correct it.
Kempe's team leading 28th. He came in with 27 goals and 27 assists just for good measure. It's his second goal of the season series. for the 28-year-old Adrian Kempe.
Goal of the season for number 9, Adrian Kempe, assisted by number 22, Kevin Fiala, and number 8, Drew Doughty. Time of the power play goal, 4:59.
Doughty's pass up ice goes errant. It's an icing call on the visitors. The Wild trailing 1-0. No first period goals for Minnesota over the last 5 games and 6 of the last 7. And again, a team struggling to score right now. Over the last 15 regulation periods, just 6 total goals since a March the 4th win in Seattle where they scored 4 times. Again, that's 6 goals in the last 5 games, not including shootout or overtime decisions, just regulation periods. Off the face-off, the puck comes back through neutral ice. Brock Faber will grab it, laid it along to Middleton, smacked along for a tip by Hartman. Ryan Hartman has 6 career goals against Darcy Kemper, the Kings netminder, the most of any Wild skater. See if that previous success against Kemper helps him tonight. Innistro's in the neutral zone, fed the weak side to Faber, and as he carries over the blue line, it's whistled down for offside.
A little bit anxious. Minnesota's got to back off here just a little bit. You mentioned Drew Doughty also. Here's a defenseman, 6'1", 210 pounds, now in his 17th year. He's only played 17 games coming into this one. This is number 18. He was out all year with a lower body injury, obviously, and they certainly miss his presence. Boy, he's an all-star defenseman. Won the Norris Trophy back in 2016, where he picked up a total of 51 points. Being a right-handed shot, too, which is hard to find, has done a good job with this hockey club.
Played 25 minutes for the Kings on Saturday. Tom said missed a lion's share of the year to start. As Deneau takes the puck from Johansson, moved it along for Trevor Moore to tap in. Back is Spurgeon, around the net of Gustafsson, right wing side Jared Spurgeon. Hounded by Moore, got the puck out to the neutral zone. Boudreau tried to drive it in. It's gloved down by Joel Edmondson, and a hand pass on the Kings. And another whistle.
Well, attention to our season ticket members. Once again, we're going to reward you for listening all season long with Forever Wild Reward points. Enter the code PATTY. That's on St. Patrick's Day. The word is PATTY. To receive 100 bonus points on your account. That offer will end at midnight tomorrow. How does you like my little enunciation of PATTY?
I like that. It's like you're almost... Yeah. Can you...
I can see Kevin really enjoyed it.
Can you provide the rest of your analysis for this night in that same accent? Johansson left side. Threw one in front. Boudreau robbed. Darcy Kemper, a left kick save on a nice passing play by Minnesota. Kemper, by the way, back-to-back shutouts coming in for the 5th time in his career. He's the first Kings goalie to have back-to-back shutouts since he did it himself in his previous stint with LA. And Kemper, second in the league goals against, average 3rd in save percentage coming in. 200th career win for him Saturday in the 24-save shutout over Nashville. Gustafsson with his goal stick, motored one along, came to the point, Spence hammered it wide. Boldy right side taps along, taken away by Kopitar, who's one of the best in the league in that category. Off to Kempe, who's got the game's only goal. Kempe checked, he lost it. Good play by Boldy to dig it free. Rossi able to find Boldy. Boldy step past the check, got it in front. Spurgeon a shot, diving, blocked by Gavrikov. It never got through to Kemper. Excuse me, that was Nyquist that came in late. Rossi hands it to Merrill. John Merrill, left wing side, activates, walks in with a shot. Kemper the save. Kings, the second stingiest team goals against average in the league. They also give up the second fewest shots on a per-game basis. LA, very defensive-minded. It's slapped into the Wild zone, gloved down by Middleton, forced along to Faber, rolled back to Middleton. Right wing pass. Brendan Gaunce over the blue line. Into the right wing corner with a side angle shot, hit the outside of the net. Gaunce back on it, up top Middleton. Flipped along to Faber, hammered back to Middleton on the pop-out play. Gaunce, a hurried wrister, went just wide. Kemper got the loose puck away from trouble with his goal stick, but Devin Shore is there for Minnesota. He tries to cycle it off. Turcotte had it for a moment for LA. Minnesota pressuring here with their 4th line on the ice. Middleton pinched in for a moment, but Turcotte able to skate it free out through center, gains the center line, and then ran into the linesman as well as a couple of Wild players. So the Kings have to regroup. Just over 8 minutes played in the first. Shots are 3 aside, but LA a 1-0 lead here in St. Paul. And the Wild from right to left on your radio dial. Kings have allowed the fewest first-period goals of any NHL team coming in. Just 41 of them. And up to the second, a +11 goal differential over the Kings in the opening period of games this season. We've got a timeout on the ice, 11:36 to go in the first. The Wild trail 1-0. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable.
Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Their leaders are Reinhardt, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The Point with Boomer Gordon.
For months, I've been listening to hockey people warn the Sabres. Don't move on from Dylan Cousins. This is the one you'll regret. The fact that you're trading in division is amazing to me. This guy can come back and haunt you like every Sabre does. But if I'm an Ottawa Senators fan, Jake, I'm over the moon on this trade.
Point with Boomer Gordon. 1 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
11:36 to go here in period number 1. It's 1-0 in favor of the LA Kings. A power play goal scored early on in this contest, and with that puts Minnesota back on their heels a little bit. But right now, Minnesota's got to find a way to just continue to work at that next goal and go from there.
Darcy Kemper now, Tom, has cracked over 160 minutes without allowing a goal.
And he's good, there's no question. But you have to look at the guys in front of him also. He's got a good bunch of guys in front of him. They do not give up a lot of goals. Minnesota's got some players that really have to step up, though. I mean, I look at Brock Faber, for example. His last 20 games, he's got 1 goal and 2 assists, but he's been minus 14.
Over the blue line, Hinostroza left side, dropped it back. Chisholm would drive it, bounce free in front, and Hartman couldn't get it to settle down. It's worked along Hinostroza, tough angle shot, loose in the blue paint. Hartman whacking away, and it wouldn't go. Hartman's got it again. Left circle, Hinostroza, up top, Chisholm faked the drive. Left it back for Hinostroza, pounded behind the net for Hartman. Hartman trying to connect with Trenyon. He'll come out right side, fed the point Spurgeon. Labeled along Chisholm, bounce one into the cross corner. Quentin Byfield there. He had the 6-game goal streak as the Kings get it out to center ice. Not much further. The Wild come rumbling right back in. It's Hinostroza once more. Winning a foot race, cutting around the net of Kemper. Protected in the corner as Brant Clark rammed into him. Hinostroza came out of that pile with the puck. Now Faber across the blue line to the high slot for Hartman. He was muscled off the puck. It's flicked along with a glove pass that couldn't have been touched by the next LA player, Fogels. It went deep into the Wild zone, but Minnesota touches next anyway, and play continues. Brock Faber to Marcus Johansson. Over the blue line left side, step past the check. His feed was cut off. Warren Foegele dishes it back out to center, the former Oiler in his first year with LA. Faber on a reset, turns it back in. Doughty reversed it left wing side. Philip Deneau couldn't come up with it. Goudreau's centering pass, so swiped away. And here is Trevor Moore to tap along, nearly getting to the loose puck, but a diving play by Merrill kept him at bay. We hit the midway point of the first with the Wild trailing 1-0. They've had some good looks, though, in the opening frame. Moore back of the net of Gustafsson. Off to Kuzmenko. Stop it. Shake. Comes down the glove side of Gustafsson. Rolled one in front. That's taken away by the home team, and Minnesota now bursting ahead with Matt Zuccarello. Over the blue line right side. Spun up. Zuccarello looking for some help. Forced it to the left point. Bogosian hacked one wide with Rossi at the side of the net, unable to get a deflection on that puck. And Zuccarello forces the Kings deeper in their own zone with 9:30 to go in the first, and the Wild changing on the fly. Vladislav Gavrikov, the former Columbus Blue Jacket draft pick, angles one ahead. It's tipped in. Spurgeon's feed goes errant. And this is going to be an icing call in Minnesota.
And that would bring the faceoff back deep in the Minnesota zone. And our guest after the first period will be a longtime broadcaster for the LA Kings, Nick Nixon, who's going to be our guest. He's retiring at the end of this year. And I told him when I get to be his age, I might do the same thing. So we'll see what happens.
How'd he take that little jab?
He just laughed at me.
Oh, you had Sam Rosen a couple nights back. He's hanging him up. Nick Nixon. And Tom, we never, I don't think on air, had a chance to talk about the passing of Mike Lang, the longtime Penguins broadcaster.
Yeah, many years.
Certainly a tough loss for the hockey world. Some very iconic calls from Mike Lang.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. He's been a great ambassador to hockey, certainly in the Pittsburgh area.
9 minutes to go in the first. The Wild trail the Kings 1-0. Minnesota offside, neutralized draw. When we come back, you're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
So, after you lift weights, your body keeps burning calories for hours post-workout.
Oh, like a BMO Savings Builder account.
What?
With BMO, I can get a reward every month I save.
So, you're getting an extra reward for the work you've already done?
Exactly. Plus, BMO gave me a cash bonus when I opened a checking account.
That's a flex.
This is a flex. Check out these pythons.
Pump up your savings with BMO. Conditions apply. Learn more at BMO.com/kickstart. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
BMO. As a business leader, every day brings countless decisions. Some big, some small, some easy, and some you need to sleep on. Work with a banker who gets you, gets your business, and can help you make the right decisions to meet your goals. So you're not just navigating between choices, you're planning your success. Work with Bremer Bank, because understanding is everything. Put us to work for you today at bremer.com.
Scoreboard update. Only 4 other games tonight in the National Hockey League. As I look, they're all in progress, including in Boston, where the Sabres and Bruins are tied at 2 goals apiece. The Lightning have an early 1-0 lead over the Flyers. Nikita Kucherov, his 29th of the season. Devils have opened up a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jackets in Columbus, and the Flames and Leafs tied at 1. They're through 1 period of play in Toronto. That's it for now. Back to Joe and Tom.
And Joe, the best way to experience the thrill of wild hockey is up close and in person. Be there for every unforgettable moment. Be forever wild. Learn more about season ticket memberships at wild.com/forever. Face off outside the defensive zone of the LA Kings in front of their bench.
Wild fans should be keeping a close eye on that Maple Leafs Flames score, with Calgary as well as Utah. Don't look now, but the St. Louis Blues and the Vancouver Canucks all in there as well. It's really going to basically be 4 or 5 teams for 1, maybe 2 spots in the wild card. Although, if you look at LA, Tom, they're just 2 points ahead of Minnesota. Doesn't feel like that. It's gone to the side angle shot. Kemper the save. Puck comes to the right point. Bogosian over to Merrill. His drive. Tipped down in front by Shore. Went wide. Tanner Jeannot pressured. Brazo forces Spence out from behind the net. And then it's just knocked along by Hellenius. Thrown down the ice by the Kings. Icing waved off as Jeannot won the foot race. So Gustafsson came out and tried to muscle it around. Gaunson-Jeannot battle. Shore stepped to the loose puck and finds Bogosian rink wide. He'll clear it up, but Mikey Anderson was there to gap up. And here's Quinton Byfield through the slot right side. LaFerriere a shot, got to his own rebound. Great save, Gustafsson. Maryland saved the goal on the 3rd try by Alex LaFerriere. Kings stay in business. LaFerriere walking out in front. Gustafsson another save, and the loose puck squibbed just wide.
Will somebody hit him, please?
Byfield now to the left point. Dancing with it, Fiala. Turn the way of Doughty. Doughty activates. Curls out of the left wing corner. Got it back to Fiala. He'll spin. Dancing free, Kevin Fiala. Stick handling along to the point, Anderson. Now Doughty patrolling the blue line. More pressure by the Kings. Doughty flex it up top. Anderson, a shot blocked. That hit Devin Shore up high. He appears okay. Byfield to the loose change. Quinton Byfield, the former 2nd overall pick. To Fiala. He let it come free for Doughty. Pressured all the way up by the... near the blue line by Bogosian. You don't usually see a defenseman defending way up there, but the Wild finally tip a puck loose. Brazo hits the red line and chops it in.
Yeah, Brazo a little bit tired out there, a little bit of a hard shift, and Minnesota gets a full contingent of fresh players on the ice.
Boy, the crowd's still buzzing on that sequence of stops by the Gus bus. Brant Clark finds the red line and jams it in, and John Merrill as well back behind his goaltender on that 3rd attempt, all by LaFerriere. Kept this from becoming a 2-0 game as a shot by Clark tipped just wide. Kings smelling some early blood in the water here. Brock Faber, the former Kings draft pick, able to force the issue along. And now Jake Middleton, he also drafted by the LA Kings once upon a time, to rip it around the Wild end wall. Nyquist taps ahead for Boldy, and the Wild finally come through center ice. Rossi steps over the blue line, danced outside the left circle, twisted it around the end wall. Boldy pressured by Edmondson. Nyquist is there. Nyquist checked by Clark. He was able to spin free. Nyquist hacked one in front. It was blocked. And Brant Clark to his left to pick up this puck, spin to his forehand, and knuckle it around the boards, where Middleton charged to it, but the bouncing puck leaks out to center. Boldy on a regroup, back for Faber. Just over 6 minutes left in the first. It's a 1-0 deficit for Minnesota.
Yeah, shots right now 7-6 in favor of the LA Kings.
Wild have won 10 games this year when giving up the game's first marker. Chisholm was at the red line, I guess just a stride shy as he fires it in. It's icing.
Well, Darcy Kemper, we talked about him before, and the fact that his 13th year now in the NHL, his second time with the LA Kings, and he's had a storied career also in the different teams he has gone to. Won the Stanley Cup with the Avs just a few years ago in 2022. And you look at the save percentage on the year. Here's a big guy, 6'5", 215. You look at the goaltenders today, especially. I mean, you get to be up to 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". I mean, they're big bodies and they cover a lot of territory.
Gavrikov hammered a shot wide. Spence stepped to it, tossed it in front. Gustafsson knocked it away with his goal stick. Kopitar broke his stick. He'll go to the bench for a new one as the puck ends up behind the Minnesota net. It's grabbed and carried along by Declan Chisholm. Bounced it off the boards. Trenyon tipped along as Spence wrestled him down to the ice. 5.5 to go, opening period. Gavrikov and Trenyon come together. It's flexed through center by the Kings. Chisholm leaves it back. Spurgeon to Hartman, and Hartman frisbees it in. Blockered away by Kemper, but it came right to Trenyon. Rolled it down into the corner for Hinostroza. Vinny Hinostroza escaping some trouble, but the puck then just kind of rolled away and went out to center, where Gaudreau picks it up and winds it back in. Kemper with his goal stick. Flicked it along left side. Turcotte deflects out to the neutral zone. Kings leading in shots 9-6. Over the blue line left wing boards. Offensive zone comes Freddie Gaudreau. Able to find Marcus Johansson. Left it back off, hoping for Gaudreau. Doughty was there first. His clearing attempt hit Johansson. And a scramble for it now deep in the Kings zone. It comes to the point. Bogosian loads, fires a drive. Kemper the save. And he'll get a whistle.
Yeah, good shot coming from the blue line right on the netminder once again, but no rebound to be had.
4:38 left in the opening period. The Wild trail the Kings 1-0 here at home. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
Wake up at 5. Lace up their skates. You want to see them win state. After all, that's all your kid dreams about. And a strain, sprain, or break doesn't have to take that away. Tria Orthopedic Urgent Care is here for them 7 days a week with no appointment needed. And with Save My Spot, you can reserve your place in line and show up closer to check-in time. With Tria by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit tria.com/SaveMySpot to learn more.
Traveling with the Minnesota Wild has never been easier. Introducing Wild Travel, a book seats experience, the official fan travel platform of your Minnesota Wild. It's your one-stop shop to bundle game tickets with flights and hotels, saving you up to 30%. With Wild Travel, you can customize your official Minnesota Wild package for any game and never worry about hidden fees. Plan your next trip today at bookseats.com. Wild Travel, a book seats experience.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Now 4:38 to go here in period number 1. Shots right now have LA in the lead 9-7. They're ahead by 2. And you look at the only goal that's scored by Kempe, is 28th goal of the season, with Fiala and Doughty picking up the assist at 4:59 on the power play. Right now the faceoff deep in the LA Kings zone.
The Kings now 3 for 4 with the man advantage against the Wild in the season series, which concludes here tonight. Kings haven't swept the Wild in the regular season series since the 2017-2018 campaign. They beat the Wild here tonight. They'd achieved that feat for the third time in franchise history. Faber back for a loose puck. Fiala pressured. It's motored along. Hacked up ice by Middleton. Byfield now steals at center. Left it back for Doughty, who whacked it to the left wing boards. Mikey Anderson gains the red line and turns it in. Out with his goal stick comes Gustafsson with just over 4 minutes to go here in the opening period. Zuccarello now. Middle of the ice pass, Gaudreau. Kept it coming to the left wing boards. Johansson hit hard by Doughty. That knocked the helmet off of Johansson. He'll go to the bench rather than just pick up the helmet. The Kings now counter here. With a pass through center ice, it was tipped. And now Zuccarello finds Jake Middleton, who skies it over the head of Kemper. Hartman got there, bounced it in front, and Kemper salts it away.
Kings have done a pretty good job of jumping in on top of Minnesota as soon as they get the puck. There's not a lot of free time out there with Minnesota, taking away that time and space. But right now the faceoff is going to be deep in the LA zone. It's surprising also, Joe, the fact that Minnesota has won 56% of the draw so far in this hockey game. Hopefully that will continue.
Kings are a middle-of-the-pack team in the faceoff department, 15th out of 32 clubs. Coming into action here tonight. By the way, Kings not very good on the road this year, 4 games below 500. In fact, tonight's matchup features, out of current playoff teams, the team with the fewest home ice wins, currently in a playoff spot in the Wild. The team with the fewest road wins, currently in a playoff spot in the LA Kings. Kings have a 12-game point streak at Crypto.com Arena. That's current through Saturday's win over Nashville. But again, they've struggled on the road this year. Trenyon at center ice feeds it along. Over the blue line, Hinostroza at his pass for Hartman, swiped away by Deneau. And now it's Trevor Moore, watched by John Merrill. Goes to the corner left of Gustafsson. Hartman bumped there. Jostled free. Bogosian slaps it along. Right wing side, Hinostroza. An aerial feed rink wide that's rescued by Merrill. He'll skate through center at the offensive blue line, then left it back for Gustav Nyquist. Nyquist swinging it down low. Kopitar cuts it off. Pushed it free for Brant Clark. And Clark now on a second effort will speed it along. The Kings race up ice, firing a long shot. Kempe blocked away by Minnesota. Merrill handles it and finds Nyquist in a 3-on-3 through center. Gustav Nyquist dances over the blue line, left it back. Boldy just rims it down low. Rossi canceled his man off the puck, but the Kings are there for a moment. Kuzmenko hog-tied by Nyquist. Rossi joins the scrum. And now Jordan Spence has seen enough of the Wild pressure, just sailing it ahead.
Yeah, good play by Spence, just getting down the ice. That allows the LA Kings to get some fresh bodies on the ice.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the first. Back on side of the Wild. Rossi from the left wing wall. Threw it in the cross corner. Brazo. Minnesota in the midst of a change. Faber deep in the offensive zone. Just ahead of Spence. Turned and whistled one in front. And Kemper found it. A sea of bodies around him. And then Rossi, frustrated a bit, slashed the stick out of Tanner Jeannot's hands with 1:56 to go in the opening period.
Yeah, it's about half a second after the whistle gone. I'm looking at Jeannot. He's going like, what did you just do? Took the stick right out of his hands. And, of course, that'll keep the face-off deep in the LA zone.
Shots are now 9 apiece. And Darcy Kemper came in with a shutout streak of 154 minutes and 43 seconds. He has backstopped the Kings in each of their last 3 games. The last time he gave up a goal was 3 games back against the Islanders, about the middle of the second period. So he finished up that game without allowing anything, and then back-to-back shutouts. And he's 100 seconds away from adding another stanza of 20 minutes to that total. Chisholm swats it ahead. Gauntz didn't come up with it, but Brazo was there first, so no icing. Gauntz left wing boards, kept in a rimmed puck. Doughty watches as Gauntz will twist it around. Spurgeon at the right point, handles it, slapped one in front. It's knocked down. Gauntz on his backhand was denied by Kemper. Short of the rebound. Devin Shore cycled it behind the net. Brazo away from Mikey Anderson. Big Justin Brazo forced it to Gauntz. He'll paddle it along. Spurgeon stepped to it. He'll drill it back of the net again. Anderson cut it off. Brazo staples him to the glass. Brazo trying to kick it free for Shore, but instead it's Doughty to pick it up and lug it along. Drew Doughty nearing 1,200 career games, all with LA. He'll find LaFerriere, and it's dumped into the Wild zone the final minute of the opening period. Jake Middleton plays it to Brock Faber. Sent back, hoping for Middleton. The pass was a little out of stride. Warren Fogle. And Middleton battle now right by the penalty box area. Comes back for Gavrikov. He'll churn it free. Fogle dances with it. Warren Fogle spun it to the left wing side. It bounced away for Moore. The Kings slash it deeper in the Wild zone. A half minute left in the frame. Hartman golfed it out to center ice. Trenyan's got it. Working on Gavrikov in a one-on-one. Trenyan curled up right side. Looked for some late help coming, but that pass exploded out to center. 26 to go opening period here from St. Paul. The Wild trailing 1-0. Brock Faber holds on to the puck for a few moments, worked it then to Marcus Johansson, stepped over the red line, fired it in. Kemper with his goal stick, helped it in the left wing corner. It's paddled around then for Edmondson. The former St. Louis Blue will take his time before finding Trevor Moore, and that takes us to the end of the opening period.
Yeah, good skating period by both of these hockey clubs. The only goal was a power play goal, that by the LA Kings. And with that, both teams will go to the locker room, and Nick Nixon, longtime broadcaster of the LA Kings, will be our guest in just a few moments.
Well, the Kings only have 2 wins all season when they're trailing after 20. So the emphasis for Minnesota was get off to a good start, hopefully put LA behind. However, after one period of play, the Kings have them right where they want them, protecting that 1-0 lead. As Tom said, Nick Nixon will join him here momentarily. Shots 9 apiece after 20 minutes. The Wild down 1-0. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
MLB Network Radio is getting you ready for the season, talking with the best players in baseball.
Here with Juan Soto. These players, they have experience in the NL East and play New York and everything, so I think it's going to be really fun.
Joined now by Angels outfielder Mike Trout.
I know where I'm at. I know when I'm out there, I still feel I'm the best player on the field, and that's the whole mindset coming in the spring. Enjoy it, have some fun, and play.
Hear player interviews from all 30 teams right now on the SiriusXM app. Just search Spring Training.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Their leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. We have moved the program to a new channel this year. Now, you can find us every weekday afternoon live on Sirius 161, XM 206, 3 hours every afternoon, 3 to 6 p.m. Same program. My takes, some tremendous guests, and of course, your feedback. Have a take, don't suck, or you're going to get run. Content is still king. The jungle still rules, and it is great to be home. Put the channel on your preset, Sirius 161, XM 206.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the SiriusXM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind, wrist the line, and walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite team.
Well, welcome back to St. Paul on St. Patty's Day here in the capital city of Minnesota. Right now, they score 1-0 in favor of the LA Kings over the Minnesota Wild. Shots on net right now are 9 apiece, and our guest right now is a longtime broadcaster with the LA Kings. And Nick Nixon, thanks for being here. And I guess you've been doing this for a long time.
I have been. My 44th season with the Kings. It'll be my final season with the Kings. Before that, 6 years riding the buses in the old American Hockey League. So I figure after 50 years of doing this, Tom, and still not being able to figure it out, maybe it's time to step aside.
And give somebody. That's what I'm thinking about. I don't know. I'm not even thinking about that yet. But it's exciting. How did you get in? How did you get into broadcasting?
Well, my dad was in radio, and when I went to college, I really wasn't sure what career path I wanted. And as it turned out, I went to Ithaca College in upstate New York, and I was a communications management major. So I took some radio TV courses, some business courses. So if I didn't make it in radio or TV, I could, sell my own pizzas and maybe make a couple of dollars. So I had the radio background. I used to go to the station and watch my dad and the other disc jockeys, how they worked and how it all, came together and, ultimately what you heard on the air. And then my junior year of college, I said, okay, I think I'm going to pursue this. And the good thing about being at Ithaca College was that when I was a freshman, they had student-run radio stations, an AM and an FM. And the students ran them. And I was a freshman, and I was on the air. I was doing like a 3-hour disc jockey shift once a week, and I would do a sports report for 5 minutes and prepare it. And you learn by the experience, right? And I wasn't 18 until midway through my freshman year, so the experience I gained in college was just huge. And as it turned out, I kept one tape of a game from college sports. It was an IC hockey game against Oswego State, and that was the tape I used to get my first AHL job.
Well, what a great story! It really is, man. Just one tape you kept, and that was one.
If it was baseball, you and I are not having this conversation. I'm probably making pizzas.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the LA Kings. Here's a pretty good hockey club right now, and playing exceptionally well.
They are, and I think we're seeing a little transition in the leadership on the ice, the dangerous players on the ice. Over the years, it's been the Kopitars and Kempe, of course, the last few years. Drew Doughty. We had Dustin Brown, who retired a couple of years ago. Yep. And now I think the torch is starting to get passed to Quinton Byfield, who has to be the Kings' #1 center when Anže retires, likely after next year, which will be his 20th season in the NHL. So the fact that a guy like Byfield has come on, Kempe's in the prime of his career, trades that they've made this past year have worked out. They've made the Kings bigger and stronger, more of a playoff-tested team, hopefully. We played Edmonton 3 straight years, but the addition of Foegele, Jeannot, Edmondson, size, physicality, and Kemper's been fabulous in goal. I know you guys know all about him. This is his second stint with LA, and his numbers, he was player of the week last week, his numbers are second best goals against and save percentage in the NHL. So a lot of things are working for this hockey team.
Yeah, they really are. And it starts with goaltending, too. If you've got goaltending, you can win an awful lot of hockey games in Minnesota. Not that they've had poor goaltending, but the caliber of the play maybe hasn't been where they want to be at this stage of the game. But a lot of that depends on who's in front of the goal, too.
Yeah, exactly. And Jim Hiller now has settled in. Of course, we're on a winning streak of 5 games, and coaches don't like to change things when you're winning, right?
Of course.
So the combinations up front have been together for 6 games. The defensive pairs, you've got a left shot with a right shot. Doughty's back. He's healthy. He wasn't there in the first half. So, right now, touch wood, the Kings are a healthy team, and if they can stay that way, I think a lot of people feel if it is Edmonton again for the 4th straight year, this team is better suited to handle the Oilers.
Because of what? The speed?
Size. Experience, goaltending, physicality, depth. All of those things.
Yeah, and that's what you have to have. I was talking a little bit earlier about the fact that you look at some of these teams and how big they are, especially goaltenders. I mean, the size of the goaltenders, they cover a lot of area. The guy I want to talk about is Anze Kopitar. Yeah. What a trooper he has been over the years now. And it's about his 19th year. He's your captain. He's your leader after Dustin Brown left, and really has stepped up his game.
The stat I like to use about Kopitar, and I looked this up years ago, because for so many years, he was every year our leading scorer, year after year after year. And I think he's led the team in scoring 15 times. And the only other player in NHL history that's led a franchise more often in scoring is Gordie Howe. He led Detroit in, 18, 19 seasons. Of course, he played most of his career in Detroit. But to me, that's Anze Kopitar. We keep waiting for him to slow down, but, his numbers the second half are down a little bit. But Tom, you've seen him enough. He's the type of player that if he's not scoring, he still doesn't hurt you. Because over the years, he's been the shutdown guy, matched up against the other team's number one.
He can win faceoffs.
He can win faceoffs. He's leading the Kings in that again this year. On the power play, the number one power play unit. Yeah, in my mind, he is the greatest King of all time for what he's accomplished statistically, leadership, 200-foot game, 2 Stanley Cups. What more? What more do you need?
Yeah, when you think of some of the guys in the past, the guys in this jersey are hanging up in the rafters.
Absolutely.
They're pretty good
Dion,
players, too.
Taylor, Wayne Gretzky, who spent, 8 seasons in L.A., but came close to getting a cup in 93, but it didn't happen. Yeah.
You mentioned the cup, and of course, you guys have been fortunate. You've won the cup 2 times, and that's pretty nice. And it's hard to win the cup, and people don't realize how difficult it is and what takes place. Once the season ends, you've got to win 16 more games over 4 different possible stints to win the cup. And what that takes, not just on the winning the games itself, but the travel as well.
Yeah.
And you're going back and forth from different cities. It's really difficult.
Well, in 2012, we were very lucky. We barely got in. We were the 8th seed, and then we beat the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd seed in the third seeds in the first 3 rounds. But we were up 3-0 in all 3 of those series. We were up 3-0 in the final as well. So we would win the first series in 5 games. Then we swept the Blues in 4, and we won in 5 games against Arizona. So after every series that playoff year, they had 8-10 days off to recuperate. And here's a statistic which is unheard of in playoff hockey. In that playoff year, all 6 of our defensemen played every single game.
Wow.
Same pairs night after night. As an old defenseman yourself, you know how valuable that is.
Old. Yeah, come on.
Oh, okay. As a good-looking defenseman, As a good-looking, let me.
I know you have to.
I was wrong on both counts.
I want to get you out of here anyway. Nick, thanks for being with us. I wish you all the best. Congratulations
Tommy,
on a
thank
great
you.
career.
Thank
It's
you.
always a pleasure.
And we'll
to
be
see
around when you come to LA. Hopefully, you keep it going for a little while longer. We'll be in the press room in LA, and we'll say hello again to everybody.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Tom.
Right, thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Just a couple of legends, once again, talking hockey for joining us in the intermission. Nick Nixon will get a gift certificate down to Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub, where they're not happy. The Wild are down 1-0 after 1 period of play. Hopefully they can turn it around in the final 40 minutes. But we'll recap the opening 20 next. This is Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
You have a plan for your business and a vision for its future. So it's important to have a banking partner that works to understand all of your goals and what it will take to help you reach them. Work with a banker who is dedicated to listening first and providing insightful, personalized advice that's right for you and your business. Work with Bremer Bank, because understanding is everything. Put us to work for you today at bremer.com.
Hey, Wild fans, you want your family to be warm and comfortable during our Minnesota winters, right? That's why it's good to know the knowledgeable and friendly dealers at Bryant Heating and Cooling who will do whatever it takes to keep your heating system running safely and efficiently, no matter what the weather throws at you. Plus, score up to $2,600 in tax credits on qualifying Bryant systems and ask about rebates and financing for qualified buyers. Find your local dealer at Bryant.com. Bryant, official heating and cooling company of the Minnesota Wild.
At the Home Depot, we know the world is a messy place. Keeping it clean takes science. That's why businesses everywhere have long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now, that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional-grade cleaning products for all your home's needs, so you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Papa Roach. This is my sweet song. That's what she said. I don't have it. With Rise Against, celebrating 25 years. Rise of the Roach Tour. Rockin' XL Energy Center on April 13th. With special guest, Under Oath. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Papa Roach and Rise Against together on one epic night.
Well,
shots are even at 9 apiece. Unfortunately, the Wild give up the first goal of the hockey game. 16 seconds into power play number 1 for the Kings. Kempe takes the one-timer from the right dot, beats Philip Gustafson, Fiala, and Doughty with the assist. 4:59 in. The Wild are down 1-0. That's your score after 1 period of play. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
The world's greatest coverage.
Taves, 3-on-1. Taves, Lee, scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
8 first-period saves for Philip Gustafson. Darcy Kemper, shutout streak still intact. He makes 9 first-period saves. The Kings 1 for 1 on the power play. The Wild yet to skate with a man advantage. Kings 1, Wild 0. That's your score after 1 period of play. The second is next. This is Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
As the official partner of the Minnesota Wild, Enterprise is ready to go that extra mile. We're dedicated to the most dedicated fans in the game. And with us on your team, you can move forward with confidence, knowing we've got your back. We're always available with mobility solutions, whether you need a rental, replacement, truck, or even tailored business strategies.
He
At Enterprise, your goal is our goal, and we're ready with the assist.
Take the leap. Make a splash. You want to keep up with your granddaughter. After all, she keeps you young. And a sore knee, back, or shoulder doesn't have to take that away. At TRIA, our physical therapists will help you treat whatever's holding you back. We use the latest therapy techniques and equipment to decrease pain and accelerate healing. With TRIA by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit TRIA.com to make an appointment.
Can Wonderland is an epic indoor mini golf course with 18 holes built by teams of local artists, surrounded by a jaw-dropping retro arcade of over 125 rare, nostalgic pinball and video games, along with awesome one-of-a-kind specialty amusements. Can Wonderland is the place to go for fun for all ages, families, groups, team building, and celebrations of any kind. Set your tee time for mini golf and enjoy tasty food and drinks. There's something for everyone at Can Wonderland. That's cancanwonderland.com.
The Lumineers. The Automatic World Tour. Friday, July 25th at Excel Energy Center. On sale now through Ticketmaster. The Lumineers pick up their new album, Automatic, out now.
This is Brock Faber of the Minnesota Wild. Having grown up in Minnesota, I know all about the legend that is Tom Reed.
Hello, fans.
He's been good when he has to be.
Well, Tom, doing very well, thank you. I've had a couple of beers, so I'm okay.
Great broadcaster, better person.
A Henway tomorrow.
What is that?
What?
A Henway.
Depends on the size of the hen.
Oh. And you get to hear him every night.
This is Tom Reed. Thanks for listening to Wild Hockey.
Exclusively on the Minnesota Wild Radio Network.
March Madness is alive and well with the Minnesota Wild.
Rossi and a little Talbot. Field on his shotgun and back, and he's gone!
The Wild have 11 home dates in the month of March, and it's a great chance to see your favorite team in action as they head towards the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Go Rossi! Wins it in overtime!
From Margaritaville to Prince Night, the Minnesota Wild has a ticket pack for every fan. Learn more at wild.com/pack.
Second period from St. Paul on this St. Patty's Day. Joe O'Donnell, Tom Reed with you. The Wild trailing the Kings 1-0. Tom, how do you kind of take a look and digest the opening period?
I actually kind of liked the first period for Minnesota. I thought they played hard. They worked hard. Unfortunately, gave up another goal on the power play to the opposition, which is never good. But they've got to come back here and make something happen in the second period. They switched ends now, and you look at Minnesota, they dropped in the face-off wins down to 47%, but they win the first one of this second period.
Wild from left to right on your radio dial in the second. Looking for some offense, trailing 1-0. Kings skating from right to left as LA taps one through its own slot. Moore headmans. Fogle was bottled up. Came back to Moore. Couldn't get it deep into the Wild zone. Here's Hinostroza. Laying it back for Declan Chisholm. A return pass for Vinny Hinostroza. Slice past some trouble. Then was poke checked by Fogle. Edmondson off to Fogle now. Hinostroza closes on him. Picking up the loose puck, Brant Clark. Sped it along Moore. Trevor Moore, left side. A shot to the back post. Loose puck in front. And they wave it off. No goal. Fogle drilled it in, but the call on the ice is no goals. Gustafsson is, well, first of all, he's got a stick lodged in his skate. He's about 4 feet from his net. The net ended up off its pegs.
Yeah, and it's not his stick. It was a stick from the LA Kings, just pushed him, stuck in his pads or his skate, and all of a sudden, that was a very quick decision by the officials here. By number 25, Pierre Lambert will make the call.
So Clark, the young defenseman, went hard to the net. Give him credit for that. But in doing so, he got entangled with Gustafsson, pushed the goaltender way out of his blue paint, and then somehow his stick got either lodged in the buckle of his pad or the left skate of Gustafsson.
He was halfway to the boards. To his right, not the ones behind him.
By the way, nice effort by Ryan Hartman there, coming back trying to play street hockey goaltender. We saw Merrill save a goal in the first. Hartman went sliding into the net, didn't keep the puck out, but at least the effort was there. And the draw now out at center. Nothing the Kings can do about that, trying to challenge it or what have you. Middleton around to Faber after the Kings worked it in. Now a right wing breakout pass, Rossi stabbing through center. Marco Rossi, another guy the Wild need to get going. 9 games without a goal. For the young Austrian who attacks here, right side, spins up, labeled along to Boldy. He's gone 10 straight without finding the back of the net. He'll fire one here. It leaked around in front, and Nyquist unable to come up with it. Doughty slashed it up, not out. Faber holds in. Nyquist checked his man. Rossi kept it at the blue line. Worked it along, hoping for Boldy. To the left of Kemper. Matt Boldy. The right point, Faber. A hurried shot, sailed just wide. Nyquist to the carom. Back of the net on a cycle play now as Rossi had it poked free. Nyquist is there. He'll pound it behind the cage. Boldy stops, stick handle, centered for a shot by Rossi that rose off a body and found the glass.
Yeah, good patience by Boldy. Hang on that puck till Rossi came in.
Spurgeon a right circle shot. Blocked. Boldy to the rebound around the net of Kemper. Cut out in front with a backhanded shot. Kemper the save and the rebound trickled just wide. Penalty call coming on LA. Nyquist cycled it down low. It bounced away from Doughty. Touched up by the Kings. And the Wild working their tail off here, heading to a power play now.
Yep, they're not letting up. Here's the call.
LA number 8, minor penalty for cross-checking.
Yeah, there's the call. Number 8 going to go to the box. And he's been in the box a few times. That Drew Doughty, he's a terrific hockey player there, I will tell you that. He's played 17 years now, all with the LA Kings, but he goes to the box on the first power play for Minnesota here in this hockey game, this being in the second period. And it comes at 1 minute and 47 seconds into period number 2.
Tom, the chances around the goal crease for Minnesota, specifically in this game, but really over the last couple of games, I don't know if they just need to be a little bit harder on pucks, be a little bit more firm in those areas. But they are having some close calls just go awry. Shot by Spurgeon. He scores! Right off the draw! The captain delivers. It's a power play goal! And the Wild have tied this game at 1.
Well, this goal comes at 1 minute and 51 seconds of the period. The penalty came at 1:47, so it did not take very long. Minnesota taking command of the draw also in the offensive zone. And somehow Spurgeon was able to hit something along the way.
Yeah, Ryan Hartman.
Yeah.
Mentioned it earlier, Tom. That's now 7 career goals for Hartman against Darcy Kemper.
Well, he's had good success. Of course, he played with him for a while as well, but he does a nice job here, and Hartman's going to pick up that goal. But nice shot by Spurgeon to filter through to get to the front of the net. 1:51 the time to go. It's a 1-1 game.
Scoring for Minnesota! On the power play, 9th goal of the season for number 38, Ryan Hartman. Assisted by number 46, Jared Spurgeon. Time of the power play goal, 1:51. Hartman from Spurgeon on the power play, 1:51.
Well, the power play has remained consistent lately. That's a power play goal, 9 of the last 13 for Minnesota. The first of the season series and 7 tries against the... And the game now 1-1. What can that do for the bench, TR?
Well, that gives them a lot more life also. I mean, they've played a very solid game at this stage of the contest. There's no question. They've worked hard out there. They've taken the bodies. They've hits. They've been using the body. They out-hit the opposition in that first period, 7-3. So you know they're trying to slow them down.
Byfield hammered a wrister wide. Again, he scored in 6 straight games, trying to become the first Kings player since lucky Luke Robitaille many moons ago to score in 7 straight. Chisholm sails a loose puck out the center. Good stick in the neutral zone by Zuccarello. Allows Johansson to attack. Handed it back Zuccarello. Lost it for a moment. And then peeled it around the Kings net. Freddie Gaudreau blocked the clearing attempt by Gavrikov. Bogosian keeps in. Got it to Merrill. Has a lane loads. Fires. And it's blocked. Sliding block there by the youngster Alex Laferriere.
Well, you want to get in front of those shots as best you can, especially as a defenseman. Get in front to help the goaltender, but at the same time, you don't want to take his eyes away where you can see that puck coming in. But face-off with the puck going to the net will be to the right of Minnesota's former netminder. And, of course, you look at Darcy Kemper and what he has brought to the table. He's won the Stanley Cup. He's been a part of this team.
Traded by the Capitals June the 19th, that Pierre-Luc Dubois trade, and it's really worked out for both sides. The Caps having an outstanding year in the Eastern Conference. Dubois has had a bit of a resurgence with his 3rd NHL team. And Kemper comfortable here with the Kings, their organization, and their goaltending coach. And he's had great success in LA as an icing call on Minnesota.
Well, the NCHC returns to St. Paul for the final time on March the 21st through the 22nd. Single session tickets are on sale now for both the semifinal games, or a Saturday session ticket provides access to the championship game. Purchase tickets now at wild.com/NCHC.
Off the draw, the Kings have it at the blue line. Anderson to Doughty, just hacked it to the right of Gustafsson. Hellenius bottled up by the Wild pressure. Samuel Hellenius hoping for Tanner Jeannot. Now at the point, it's Doughty right side, shoving one in front, deflected off the glass, came out to a dangerous spot. Kings grab it, Jeannot. Tanner Jeannot, rink wide to Mikey Anderson, left circle a shot, hammered it just wide. Jeannot keeps in again, smacked in the corner. Gaunt's cut it off, labeled it along for short, tips ahead, icing waved off. With Drew Doughty back, he'll go D-to-D. Mikey Anderson in the wheelhouse of Turcotte. Head coach Jim Hiller called him a buzzsaw this morning when talking about the Kings line with Jeannot, Hellenius, and Turcotte. You ever been called a buzzsaw before, Tom?
No, I've been called a lot of things. That's not one of them.
Here's Hartman firing one in front. That went wide. We'll save those descriptive names for another time. Kings now with Brant Clark. Tucks over the offensive line, muscled it right side, took a return pass, and his one-timer handled by Gustafsson.
Boy, Gus has been good once again. When he's hot, and right now he's really played a very solid game for his hockey team. Shots are 11 apiece, but that shot comes right to the midsection. Boy, Gus is just right down on that butterfly position, takes that one into the midsection. No rebound to be had, and that's a big part of making that save as well.
Brant Clark, just 22 years of age, had a helper Saturday. Leads the Kings defense with 28 points. And got to keep in mind, we mentioned earlier, Doughty missed a ton of time this year. As Boldy works his way in for the Wild, hands it back. Nyquist, right circle, fed it up top. Middleton, wristing one, that caught the glass. Hustling to it, Rossi, around the net of Kemper. Marco Rossi gives it up to Boldy. Boldy side angle shot blocked away by Edmondson. Middleton pinched in, but the Kings able to nudge it along. Faber's got a long way to go. Kopitar and Faber come together. And Faber kept Kopitar at bay.
Yeah, that's a big play also by Faber to get over there in time to take Kopitar out of the play.
Gavrikov back now for the Kings through center ice. Kopitar grabs the puck, spins, angles it along Kuzmenko, left it back and turned it over. Marcus Johansson gave it right back away. Gavrikov through the slot. That's stolen by Middleton. Each team with its share of turnovers on that sequence. Middleton now muscles it along. Johansson races to it. Around the net of Kemper, out through the left wing side. Now up through the high slot goes Johansson. He was forced out to center by Jordan Spence. And we have too many men on the ice.
For Minnesota?
They had the puck, so...
Yeah, maybe.
Minnesota, bench minor penalty for too many men on the ice.
2 straight games now.
Well, this one comes at 5 minutes and 20 seconds.
That's a killer.
Second. I agree.
Playing well, and
who's not paying attention?
Just tied the game up, and you give the Kings a gift of a power play. And as I mentioned a moment ago, in the season series, they're 3 out of 4 with the man advantage against Minnesota. And 1 for 1 tonight.
Yep, not a good play. Minnesota's been called numerous times also this year with too many men on the ice, and I don't know where the communication factor is the problem. Is the player on the bench not paying attention?
So Zuccarello serves it. Faber to Middleton. Left wing pass. Nyquist skates a few strides and slides it down. I mean, the Wild had full puck possession. It wasn't like a loose puck near their bench where sometimes you get caught just out of pure bad luck and untimely circumstances, but it wasn't that case at all. Doughty at center points. Kings power play sets up Kuzmenko. Rink wide to Fiala. Outside the left circle, Fiala. The center point, Doughty. Pressured by Nyquist. Shoved it along Kempe, who has the Kings goal. Now Kuzmenko to Doughty. Has a lane. Walked through the slot over to Kempe for a drive. Stopped by Gustafsson. Rebound came to Kopitar. He couldn't get a shot through. Faber wrapped him up. Good pressure by Faber to dig it free. And Freddie Gaudreau snaps the loose puck all the way down.
Yeah, good follow-up by Gaudreau. Also come in a little bit late there, but got the loose puck. Gets it all the way down.
Kempe with another one-timer there. That time Gustafsson able to get over and make the save. It was Kempe with a one-timer blast that opened the scoring in this game. Byfield over the blue line to Kuzmenko. Drilled it around the Wild end wall. Bogosian read that. His clearing attempt, though, hit Fiala. Spurgeon gets physical on Byfield, but Fiala to the puck. Power play 45 seconds for the visiting Kings in a 1-1 game with 13:22 and counting left in the second period. Wild from left to right on your radio dial. Kings working free. Kuzmenko shook it along. Doughty a shot. Stopped by Gustafsson.
Good shot by Doughty. Better saved by the goaltender once again. Kemper, you could see Gus just going from his left to his right, just pushing off and gets himself nice and square to that puck coming in there. Hangs onto it. No rebound again. And that'll bring the face-off to the right of Gustafsson. 13-14 to go here in period number 2. Shots are 12-11 in favor of the other Kings, but it's a 1-1 game. Both the goals in this game have been scored with the power play.
Gaudreau and Deneau on the face-off. Try saying that 5 times fast. Middleton off the one draw, able to muscle it through center. For Trevor Moore, 4 points in the season series against the Wild. The Thousand Oaks, California native, starts to regroup along. Now Byfield saunters ahead. Worked it to Philip Deneau. His pass was broken up. And it's laid down the ice by the Wild PK. Coming ahead, Brant Clark. Cuts over the blue line and feathered it free for Moore. Wrapped up by Middleton. It comes back to the point. Clark sent one in front. The tip wide. Fogle jammed it towards the blue paint. Out of the box, Zuccarello. Nyquist has it. It's a 2-on-1 for the Wild if they hurry. Zuccarello taking the Nyquist pass, and the Kings come back in waves to strip it away. Fogle counters. Stood up by John Merrill. Goes down off the Wild end wall, where John Merrill escapes some pressure left side and finds Johansson. So the Wild get the kill they need. It stays 1-1 with almost 8 minutes gone by in the second. Johansson tried to chunk it in. Cut off by Edmondson. He'll float it back for Gavrikov.
And Joe, there's a perfect example of Minnesota trying to get the puck in the offensive zone, but puts it in a position where the guy can just knock it down with his hand and bring it the other way.
Gavrikov deep in his own right wing corner. Now at the hash mark, spun it around the end wall. Edmondson tipped along. Kings give it away at center. Zuccarello picks it up, hits the red line, and fires it in. Rossi pressures. Gavrikov able to chunk it loose for the captain, Kopitar. Anze Kopitar's 9th season as the Kings captain, as the bouncer now comes in on Darcy Kemper. He'll just salt it away in his glove. We've got a timeout on the ice. Near the midway point of regulation, the Wild and the Kings tied at 1. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
From the roots of Motown and R&B.
Oh, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
To the groovy rhythms of the 70s.
Music icon Smokey Robinson is delivering his very own channel of 60s and 70s soul hits and stories of his career.
Hey, it's Smokey Robinson. Music is my life.
Whether you're cruising or just vibing at home, let your soul shine with Smokey's Soul Town. Channel 74 and at home on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Nothing puts you closer to the action than Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Dallas already was the highest scoring team in the league since January 1st. They're so deep. They made a trade, like Michael Granlund there. Tyler Seguin may come back. Brantanen will fit in there beautifully. And another sort of guy drawn to the southern United States, no state tax team, good organization, and wanting to kind of set up shop long term there. So obviously it makes sense.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Well, join us for Tom Reed's hotline following the second period. Text in your comments at 64686, and one random listener will win a pair of tickets to see the Wild and the Kraken on Wednesday night. Good luck. Right now, the face-off deep in the LA zone to the left of Darcy Kemper. Just looking at the draws once again, Joe, and I always put a lot of emphasis on the draws. Minnesota's up to 48% now.
Hartman has Hinostroza to his right. To his left, Trenyon. Chisholm and Spurgeon, defenseman. Kings win the faceoff. Comes free for Fiala, who just touched it through center. Spurgeon took a pass for Chisholm, gave it right back to his D partner. And they'll play catch again. This time Chisholm lost it to Deneau. It's handed along. Fogle, toe drag move, and couldn't get a shot through. A good stick there by the Wild defensively. Hinostroza spins the puck out to center, fights through some trouble, and darts ahead. Vinny Hinostroza, checked by Mikey Anderson, and there went that rush. Kings now work it free. They've got a 2-on-1 if they hustle. Deneau to Moore on his backhand. Couldn't get much on it. And it just rolls in on Philip Gustafsson.
And that will keep the face-off deep in the Minnesota zone. 10:59 to go here in period number 2. Shots right now are 14-13 with the LA Kings. And watching the officials here Hartman's having a few words out there with somebody again, which is not unusual. But the officials are Pierre Lambert and also Carter Sandlak, and the linesman Kyle Flemington and Steve Barton. Barton, I mean, this is coming into this year, he had done 1,537 games. Wow. He probably had another 70 or 80 to that this year.
Middleton in his own slot, scoops a loose puck out through center. Chasing back for Joel Edmondson. And last year with the Capitals and the Maple Leafs. Now Tanner Jeannot goes rink wide to the aforementioned Edmondson, who hits the red line. Cranks it in. Gustafsson could only get a piece of it. Middleton tried to jar it free. Jeannot hounded by Middleton, who then works it loose for Shore. Shore's pass a little behind Gaunce, but he handled it well. And Brendan Gaunce able to gain the line and work it in. Justin Brazeau, right hash marks, offensive end. Twists it around Middleton, pinching in. He'll grab it. Rolled it back in the corner looking for some help. Clark steals for the Kings and bounces one along. Faber has to scurry back ahead of Turcotte. Both teams change on the fly as Brock Faber cuts through his own slot. Wheels along and then just plays it to Spurgeon. Spurgeon dances to his right. Back onto the tape now of Faber. A left wing feed. Boldy cuts ahead. Lofted it in. Gavrikov loved it down and bounced it back out through center. Alex Laferriere now out of Harvard University. Twisting it back for Brant Clark. He'll soar ahead. A bouncer in the Wild slot. Rescued by Spurgeon. Stashed off the boards. Byfield read it. Got to it first. Worked it in the corner. Laferriere around the net of Gustafsson. Stopping back of the cage. Alex Laferriere. Onto the tape of Byfield. Back up top. Gavrikov with a one-timer. Blocked away by Boldy. Fiala able to pick it up. Muscle to pass free Spence. Left side Gavrikov darting in. Has a lane. Cuts around the net of Gustafsson. Then found Spence for a drive. Big rebound. Rossi able to steer it away from trouble. As that initial shot hit the right pad of Gustafsson. Rossi then with a giveaway. Byfield batted a puck out of midair. He'll drop it back. Fiala shifting with it left side. His pass tips. Reaching for it. Boldy couldn't get there first. Byfield curls it around the net again. Here's Fiala. Kings changing once more. Fiala away from Nyquist, and Nyquist hauled him down. Fiala stays with it, dance with it, then between his legs. Fiala stick handling and feeding up top to Anderson. Back to Fiala, paddled away of Kempe. Kempe to Kevin Fiala. Into the right wing corner, Kopitar. Back up top, Fiala. Delayed penalty call in Minnesota. Spence to Fiala, drive, tipped down in front. Rossi able to grab it. And there's the whistle.
Yeah, and there's no question on this one. Get the stick into the legs or the skates of the player, and he goes down. You're going to be called. And that's going to be number 41 going to the box.
Minnesota number 41, minor penalty, tripping.
So a Kings power play after this quick break. It's a 1-1 game in the second. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
As the official partner of the Minnesota Wild, Enterprise is ready to go that extra mile. We're dedicated to the most dedicated fans in the game. And with us on your team, you can move forward with confidence, knowing we've got your back. We're always available with mobility solutions, whether you need a rental, replacement, truck, or even tailored business strategies.
He scored!
At Enterprise, your goal is our goal, and we're ready with the assist.
T-Mobile home internet is all about speed, value.
What you doing, Zach?
First thing, there are so many benefits. You got to talk fast.
T-Mobile home internet ranks number 1 in customer satisfaction for home wireless internet by J.D. Power.
Wow, you are good.
Try singing it. T-Mobile has price lock.
They won't raise your rate on internet.
Hulu and Paramount Plus on that.
Get T-Mobile home internet all in for just $55 a month with auto pay and any postpaid voice line. Additional terms apply for J.D. Power 2024 award information. Visit jdpower.com/awards.
Scoreboard update. In progress in Boston. Down to 5 minutes left to go in regulation. The Sabres and Bruins are tied at 2 apiece. The Lightning still holding on to that 1-0 lead at home against the Flyers. 6:52 left to go in that one. Matthew Olivier scored his 16th of the year for the Blue Jackets. Broke a shutout streak of 182 minutes and 55 seconds. That said, they're still down 2-1 on home ice to the Devils. 5:46 left to go in period number 3. And the Maple Leafs are blowing up the Flames. They lead 5-1 with 43 seconds left to go in the second. Austin Matthews, a pair of goals tonight. He's up to 26th of the year. Willie Nylander with his 38th. That's it. Back to Joe and Tom.
I'm glad you're done. I was listening to Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline singing, and all the fans are singing alongside him. So. Well, right now the face-off deep in the Minnesota zone. They are short-handed yet again. They already have given up a power play goal in this hockey game.
Kings win the draw. They set up Kopitar back to Fiala down low. Bottling that up with Middleton as he hounds Kuzmenko. And Kuzmenko's pass rolls back through center ice. So the Kings with their third power play, resetting at center. Doughty hooks it back for Kopitar. Kopitar. And now Fiala with a pass stolen by Gaudreau. He'll just make the safe play, knocking it down.
Yeah, Freddie did a nice job killing penalties for Minnesota this year.
Boldy and Johansson now out up front with Faber and Middleton. Johansson lost his footing just as Doughty sent it to Kempe. And now Kopitar, his pass tipped by Faber, and it comes back out to center. So the Kings once again try to come through neutral ice cleanly. Doughty at the blue line. His pass batted out of midair by Boldy. Boldy now tapping free and getting it back towards the Kings zone again. Faber to race off for a change. Johansson forces Fiala back deeper into the Kings zone. Spurgeon, Bogosian, Boldy, and Trenyon now for the penalty-killing Minnesota Wild with 7.5 minutes to go in the second period. The game tied at 1. Kings winners of 5 straight, a 6-game point streak coming in. Minnesota winless in back-to-back games. Fiala right side. Into the corner, Kempe. Up top, it comes Clark. Back along to Kempe outside the right circle. Angled it down low, Fiala. Set up Kuzmenko. Back along. Good passing play here. Kempe left circle, a shot. Gustafsson to save. Puck goes up into the air. Jabbed away momentarily by Minnesota. Rescued by Kuzmenko. Left circle, he'll pivot. Feathered it back to Byfield. Byfield turns it to center point. Clark back to Quinton Byfield. Takes a look. Spins with it as Bogosian tried to close. And then Byfield gave it away. Boldy softly lifts it down the ice.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Minnesota has to be ready once again to kill this penalty because the LA Kings now are changing personnel on the ice. 5 seconds ago in the penalty.
Faber battles against Lewis. Puck came to the point, Trevor Moore, not Trevor Lewis. As it's hacked out in front of the Wild cage and then shoved just wide. Nyquist is out of the box. Wild kill off 2 Kings power plays here in the second. Nyquist charges in, leaned on, wrestled by Edmondson. They continue to battle. Crowd looking for a call, none coming.
They're looking for a holding call. They're not going to get it.
Byfield scoops ahead looking for Trevor Moore. Now Deneau in front of the Kings bench, tapping into open ice, but it's picked up by Zuccarello, handed back to Faber. Brock Faber rumbles into the offensive zone, sorted around the boards. Johansson had a bounce past him, and Moore just carves it along. A foot race, it's Foegele and Zuccarello. Foegele a drive, getting to that puck, and an easy save by Gustafsson. The rebound lifted out the center ice, batted down by Mikey Anderson, but picked up now by Freddie Gaudreau. Darts in and risks a shot, sticked away by Kemper. Zuccarello to the bouncing loose puck left side. Try to hack it deeper in the King zone. Deneau cut it off, and Trevor Moore now sends it through center. Merrill's got to get it on his horse with Foegele closing. It's tapped around the Wild cage. Foegele out to Bogosian now. Foegele ended up in a heap. Zuccarello picked up the puck, lugged it around hoping for Merrill, reached out, tried to stab it back behind his own net, stolen away by Laferriere. Now Kopitar to Doughty. Free for Kempe's shot. That sailed wide, and it's grabbed by Zuccarello, turns to his backhand, spikes it along Rossi, able to just trickle it out the center. Kings heightening the pace, though, here, Tom, with that power play coming up empty, but a few good shifts afterwards for the visitors.
Yeah, they certainly have controlled the time and ice with possession of the puck right now. Minnesota's got to find a way to get that puck, but they got to get some offense going here.
And Astroza attacks for the Wild, and he was forced by Doughty at the blue line, and it draws the play offside. 4:53 left in the second period, still 1-1. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
We are gathered here to... what's with the blanket?
Oh, it's my Securian blanket. It's an unsubtle metaphor for the security I feel knowing I have smart insurance and retirement solutions from Securian Financial.
I see. And, sir, do you also trust Securian Financial with your insurance and retirement solutions?
I do.
Prepare for your future. Talk to your employer, affinity group, or a financial professional to get started. Learn more at Securian.com.
Insurance issued by subsidiary companies. Securian Financial Services. Member FINRA.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go a walk in the park with the new Ford Explorer. Become the MVP of the work site with the unrivaled performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America. Or discover what it really means to adventure in the great outdoors with the new Bronco Sport. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
So, after you lift weights, your body keeps burning calories for hours post-workout.
Oh, like a BMO Savings Builder account.
What?
With BMO, I can get a reward every month I save.
So, you're getting an extra reward for the work you've already done?
Exactly. Plus, BMO gave me a cash bonus when I opened a checking account.
That's a flex.
This is a flex. Check out these pythons.
Pump up your savings with BMO. Conditions apply. Learn more at BMO.com/kickstart. Accounts are subject to approval and are provided in the United States by BMO Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
BMO.
4:53 to go here in period number 2. It's a 1-1 game right now. The shots right now opening up a little bit on the LA side. They've had 21 shots to Minnesota's 13. The faceoff is outside the defensive zone of the LA Kings and Darcy Kemper.
Brazo and Jeannot having a little conversation prior to this neutralized draw as the Kings muscle it back. Mikey Anderson played in the state tournament here in this building. It's about a decade or so ago with Hill Murray. Here's Merrill breaking a stick as he forced it along. Gauntz tries to drill it away from trouble. Battle there by Gauntz as Merrill raced to the Wild bench to get a new stick from assistant equipment manager Cliff Halstead.
And that is so frustrating. Nice easy pass. I think it's going to be fine. All of a sudden the stick breaks halfway down the shaft again.
Here's Bogosian through center ice. Hits the red line, snaps it in. Kemper watches as it kicks around to his right. Pressure here by the Wild on the forecheck. Shore nearly came up with it back of the cage. Kings wheel it along the glass. It took a favorable hop for Minnesota. Brazo now for Brendan Gauntz. Gauntz around the Kings net. Weaves one to the point. Hurried shot by Faber. Stick save by Kemper. Middleton charged to the rebound. His drive tips and ends up over the netting and about 20 rows back. And how about Jake Middleton there, Tom? He saw the puck going over the netting and tried to yell, put his arm up to alert the fans there, it looked like.
He very possibly could. It doesn't appear that anyone got hurt in that sequence, so I assume everything is okay. I don't see any white towels going that way. That'll keep the face-off deep in the LA zone.
The players have what I always consider a very keen eye out there, Tom. They know where that puck is going more often than you might think.
I would agree with you. Even when you're on the bench, you're still watching it.
Middleton tried to hold the blue line. This is offside on the Wild. 3:48 left in the second period.
You know, these two teams, we talked about how many times they've met over the years, and I said that was 87. Here in St. Paul, though, they have played 43 games. This is number 44, but in the 43, they've gone 23, 12, and 8, so a pretty good record against the Kings in this building.
Faber in the neutral zone, tapped ahead. Hartman skitters it in. Spence will roll it around. LaFerriere chunking at it, and Fiala watched by Faber. Two players traded for one another, of course. Fiala now finds LaFerriere. He let it come free for Byfield. At the point, Spence over to Gavrikov. His shot towards the side of the net, hoping for a tip by Fiala. Nothing there. The Wild jab it free. Hinostroza knuckling it along. Here's Trenyon carrying in from Minnesota. Yakov Trenyon leaned on by Spence. Spence wraps him up. Hartman to the loose puck. His pass stolen partially by Fiala. And now Gavrikov flings it along LaFerriere, trying to get around Brock Faber. Those two go to the corner to the left of Gustafsson. It's jarred around back of the Wild net. Fiala nearly came up with it. Spurgeon able to steal. And now Hartman scoops it up into the air and safely through center. Under 3 minutes left, second period here from XL Energy Center. Joe O'Donnell, Tom Reed with you. Final meeting of the year between the Wild and the Kings. LA 1 point back of Edmonton with 2 games in hand on the Oilers for second in the Pacific. Both those teams trying to maybe catch the Vegas Golden Knights. The Wild 6 points clear of the second wild card team in Vancouver and the non-playoff pack, Calgary, St. Louis, and Utah. The Western Conference, much like the East, in that wild card race, it's all jumbled up. As Rossi in his own slot for Minnesota, skates to his left, banged it off the boards. Nyquist handles it, won the snap at rink wide, waited a moment, then did deal it across the ice, stolen by the Kings. The 8th through 11th seed in the Western Conference, just 2 points separating those 4 teams. In the neutral zone, Boldy tried to out-battle Edmonton, couldn't come up with it. Kings over the line here. Fogle has a lane right circle, handed it along Trevor Moore, spun it back. Edmonton, a shot blocked. Good shot blocked by Rossi, and the Wild attack a 3-on-2 if they want it. Nyquist, middle of the ice, stashed it off to Boldy, and this play is offside.
The pass was not forward, it was behind him, and as a result of that, the offside call is made, and that's an opportunity for Minnesota taken away.
Is that a end of a shift, tired, fatigue play there by Nyquist? Because John Hines has lauded how smart he is. He's got good skill, as we know.
And when he was here last time, Joe, he was very good here. I really wanted Minnesota to keep him, but we're not getting any offense from him at all right now. We're not getting any points because he got 1 assist in the games he's played so far, and that's just not enough for a guy like him who's got that skill.
Middleton off the left wing boards. Johansson tried to force it in. It was batted back out the center. Middleton almost stumbled down. Kept his balance, pried it in. Mikey Anderson, left wing corner, lasering it along. Kuzmenko tipped out. Zuccarello raced back to keep Kopitar at bay, and now Bogosian labels it along for Middleton. Smacked up right wing side. Zuccarello hits the red line and fires it in. Back came Doughty to steer it along. Anderson kept it coming. Kempe to Kopitar, who came into this game tied for 29th all-time in NHL history in the assist department with Evgeny Malkin. Fiala bothered by the Wild's pressure and Freddie Gaudreau. Fiala able to speed free, snap the shot, kicked away by Gustafsson. It goes to his left. LaFerriere won the battle. His pass for Fiala, though, couldn't be gathered cleanly. Middleton ended up on his stomach, but forced it along where the Wild are able to finally come through center. Bogosian pumps it in. In early was Johansson, so the Wild just bail out on a change. As Edmonton snuck a pass along that's tipped by Fiala to Byfield. Quentin Byfield trying to rumble in the final 37 seconds of period 2, where the Wild have the only goal in the frame, erasing a 1-0 deficit to tie this game at 1. Each team with a power play goal so far, as LaFerriere couldn't sneak past Spurgeon. Minnesota unable to clear. The Kings whip it behind the net of Gustafsson with 22 seconds to go. In the second period, here's Brock Faber, casually along before firing a pass to Spurgeon. He'll wrist it ahead, tipped in by Hinostroza. On the forecheck goes Hartman. Edmondson there first, appealed around the boards. It's tipped back out through center by L.A. And hustling back is John Merrill. Merrill picks his head up, 5 to go in the period. His pass for Hinostroza, never connected cleanly. Hartman spins one front of the net. It ricocheted around, and the horn sounds.
Well, we started the period 1-1. We ended the period 1-1. And with that, all of a sudden, Minnesota's got to find a way to come through here. Excuse me, we scored 1 in the second period. My numbers are a little off here, but that's okay. But it's 1-1 game. And, this is an important time for Minnesota, how they come out in this third period. They have to feel pretty good about themselves. They're playing against a high-powered team, and hopefully they can come out with a lot of energy to drop the puck.
So a 1-1 game after 2 periods of play from St. Paul, the Wild and the Kings. Shots 22-14 LA. We'll take a timeout. Tom Reed's Hotline. Recap of all the action so far comes your way after this. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you navigate the waters of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's Sharp Week, and our team of college hoops experts will guide you through your brackets. Want to know who the wagering sharps are picking? Tune in to Sharp Week on VSiN, Sirius XM 158. Sharps! You're gonna need a bigger bet.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Cheveldayoff. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think any time that you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play, weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Tkachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
It's soccer's most thrilling league.
Only the Premier League can make you feel like this.
And now every match is on the Sirius XM app.
Can you believe it?
From the title race.
This is remarkable. Keeps this title charge on track, surely.
To the relegation fight.
The impossible may still be possible.
Hear every English Premier League match on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favorite club.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the Sirius XM app. Just search for your favourite team.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it, there's a chance, rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores!
NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
It's time for Tom Reed's Hotline. Text in your comments or questions to 64686. You could win fabulous prizes, including dinner at Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub or wild tickets to a future game. And now, Tom Reed's Hotline.
The captain flings one in on net to start the second period on the power play, tipped by Ryan Hartman, pulls us even at a goal apiece, and that's where we sit through 40 minutes of play. Get those questions in now, 64686. Text us, 64686. I got more than a couple pairs of tickets to see the Wild and Kraken Wednesday night in St. Paul. This could be your opportunity to go on the great Tom Reed. He's picking up the tab, at least for the tickets.
I am?
You are. And you're very generous us to do so. I'll start with this one with Hartman getting on the board, Tom. Right place, right time. But, boy, for a team that needs goals, man, it's good to have one get back behind the goaltender.
Yeah, you're right. Hartsy's got a pretty good record against the LA Kings, as we pointed out a little bit earlier. But the thing is that with Hartsey also, having him back on the ice is a nice fit for Minnesota because he's experienced. He's got that little bit of an edge to him. As long as he toes the line, he'll be great.
All right, let's jump into some questions here, and we'll start with this one about Brock Faber. Tom, how did the Wild get Brock Faber back on the offensive side of things? We know how good he can be. How do we get him back there?
Well, he's the only guy that can do it. I'm looking at his record also, Kevin. Before the game, I was looking at in the last 20 games, he's got one goal and 2 assists, but he's been in minus 14. And I really do believe that the Four Nations face-off, he really extended himself in that. He was so good in that series. But the fact is that I think he's a little tired right now. He's playing well over 25 minutes per game. I don't know if he can handle that for a whole season. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But we need him to get back on the offensive side of things. I'm sure he feels it too.
Yeah, he's feeling it, and so is a number of guys, including Matt Boldy and Marco Rossi. That's who Uncle Mick wants to talk about. It feels like Groundhog Day again, Tom. That's what he says. Boldy and Rossi also in a funk here. How do you snap them out of it? Guys that are offensively gifted, they want to score goals. How do you get them going?
Well, they're squeezing sticks right now, and I think they're probably looking to give the puck to somebody else, because I look at Boldy in the last 10 games, no goals. Got 5 assists, no goals, but he's a minus 7. Rossi in the last 9, no goals. 3 assists, he's a minus 5. And you got to work both ends of the ice. It's not just the offensive part, it's the defensive part as well. And both those guys, and the guys we talked about tonight, just are not scoring the goals for whatever reason. They're not going in. And that, to me, is the lack of confidence in their part right now.
Let's go back to Brock Faber. Tony in Badness Heights says, looking back on the Fiala and Faber trade with the Los Angeles Kings, did one team win that trade? Did each team get what they needed? Who was the benefactor the most in that trade?
I think both teams have really got what they were looking for. Faber is going to be an all-star defenseman. I said that before. Right now he's a little bit of a downer, and that is not unusual for guys who are fairly new to the league, which he still is. So he'll get his chance. Fiala, if you look at him, he's got quick feet, he's got quick hands, he handles the puck so well, and he can get goals for you. Of course, when you have a guy like Fiala coming into this game, second most goals on the team with 25 goals. He's also got 19 assists. And with Minnesota, he was very good also. He had 79 goals and 107 assists, 186 points in the time he was here. They're both good offensively, but I think it starts with defense.
And let's not forget the Wild also got Liam Ogren, a draft pick, which ended up being Liam Ogren. I know he's not up here right now. Certainly, at some point they're going to need him. Maybe who knows when that'll be. But regardless, the jury's still out. I mean, he's a really young player, really green player, and he's lighting it up actually for Iowa right now.
Yeah, and that's what you're looking for. You have to develop these players. You want to bring them up sometimes and give them a taste of what the NHL is like, but at the same time, you have to keep them down there to make sure they're going to succeed in that area, so when they come here, they have a confidence to play at this level.
All right, Jake in Minneapolis has a good one. Put your thinking cap on. It is St. Patrick's Day, so Jake in Minneapolis wants to know, Tom, who's the luckiest player that you ever played with? You got someone that was extra lucky when he was out there?
Oh, boy. I think Louis, not because of his points so much, but the contracts he used to get. So. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that one. But you know what? There is luck involved in the game. There's no question. I don't know if there's any guy who's luckier than other guys when they play the game, but you work, and usually you're rewarded for what you do on the ice, and that's the way it should be.
How about Zeev Buium playing for the DU Pioneers? At some point, this college hockey season is going to end, and he's going to have the opportunity to turn pro. Do you think Buium jumps to the NHL much like a Brock Faber does? Who knows about the playoffs, but do you think if the DU season ends, we're going to see Zeev Buium in a Wild uniform before the end of the regular season?
Yeah, I would not be surprised, to be honest with you, that he will get an opportunity to play. And he's had a good college career, and that's what you're looking for, and that's where you want to develop from that point. But there's a step between the college and the NHL, and that's the American Hockey League. And we'll see what Bill Guerin decides what they're going to do with him.
Here's an interesting one from Andrea in Richfield. Has a 6-month-old daughter. and her husband wants that daughter to play hockey. How does she explain fighting in hockey to her daughter while also instilling sportsmanship-like values? So, Dr. Phil, you take it from here.
Well, tell her, just tell her to watch certain players who never fight, and that'll give you one idea what to do. But, it's part of the game. You very seldom see a player get hurt. And the thing is, they have guidelines as to what's going to happen. I mean, if a helmet comes off in a fight or a scrum, they move in there very quickly. So fighting, really, I'd rather see them do that and drop the gloves and go at it than use the stick or use the skates, which is very prominent in the European leagues.
How do you feel about fighting these days? I'm sure when you were a player and in the 70s and even 80s, even the 90s, it was a whole different ballgame than it is now.
Yes, it is.
It's not rare now, but it's compared to then it is.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it used to be because something happened. Now, you see two guys, for a long time, Kevin, you saw two heavyweights. All right, should we do it now? No, let's wait for the next shift because I'm still tired. And that I didn't like. I think it has to be something spontaneous because somebody did something to you or you did something to somebody else, and then it's not so bad. But I think the officials have done a pretty good job of watching over the players, make sure no one's going to get seriously hurt.
What's happening at Tom Reed's Hockey City Pub tonight for St. Patrick's Day?
A lot of green. There's a lot of green. No green beer.
No green beer.
No green beer. But we have a lot of beer and we have a lot of other things too, and a lot of food products to pick from. But it's been a fun few days, certainly for everybody down West 7th Street.
You said for many years you don't do green beer because
if that color agent gets stuck in the line, 6 months down the road, you're going to have green beer.
Nobody wants it in June.
Nobody wants it in June. That's right.
All right, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Tom Reed with tonight's hotline. You texted us, 64686, and a couple, maybe even more than that, will get a pair of tickets to see the Wild and Kraken Wednesday night in St. Paul. Pre-game at 8:15, puck drops at 8:52. Thanks again, TV. But we'll send out those tickets if you don't get that text. We'd love to see you. Wild.com/hockey tickets. After 2 periods of play in St. Paul, the Wild and Kings are tied at 1. We'll give you a recap next. This is Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
Experience the excitement of the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments on Sirius XM and on the Sirius XM app.
This place is in stunned disbelief.
Search March Madness to hear Westwood One's coverage of all the games, plus pre- and post-game shows and analysis on basketball and beyond with Coach K on College Sports Radio Channel 84. Get radio channels for your games at SiriusXM.com/sports or search March Madness in the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Your leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
General manager of the Winnipeg Jets, Kevin Fiala. What would finishing first overall mean to the organization, Kevin?
Well, I think anytime that you can finish in an area where you're getting recognized, it's special. But again, the important thing for us is process. Is when we buy into playing the way we need to play, then we feel comfortable that we'll win more games than not, and then you let the chips fall where they may.
The Power Play weekdays 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM.
Two teams, 2 power play goals. Adrian Kempe is 28th of the year, 459 of the first. It comes on the power play from Fiala and Doughty. Go to the second, and the Wild turn the trick with the man advantage. Ryan Hartman tips home a Jared Spurgeon shot from the right point. Hartman gets credit for his 9th of the year, pulls us even at a goal apiece, and that's where we sit after 40 minutes of hockey. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
The the world's fastest game.
With a pass and they score! John Tavares!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
That goal by Hartman broke Darcy Kemper's shutout streak at 176 minutes and 34 seconds. Wild outshot 13-5 in the second. Philip Gustafsson, 13 saves in period number 2. He's got a 2-period save total of 20. Kumps has 13 saves total for the LA Kings. The Wild are 1 for 1 on the power play. The Kings are 1 for 3. The third is next from St. Paul. This is Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy. Hey Wild fans, Minnesota-based and family-owned Old Dutch Foods has been creating taste sensations for generations of hometown Wild fans for over 90 years. Stock up on your favorite Old Dutch game day snacks at your local grocery stores to make game day a win. Old Dutch is a proud supporter of Wild hockey. Let's go Wild!
Old Dutch potato chips. Old Dutch, the snappy chips.
Old Dutch, quality lives here.
Snappy Old Dutch potato chips.
Wake up at 5. Lace up their skates. You want to see them win state. After all, that's all your kid dreams about. And a strain, sprain, or break doesn't have to take that away. Tria Orthopedic Urgent Care is here for them 7 days a week with no appointment needed. And with Save My Spot, you can reserve your place in line and show up closer to check-in time. With Tria by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit tria.com/SaveMySpot to learn more.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Visit Parlor St. Paul before or after the Wild game or anytime for great food, drinks, and service. Located on West 7th. Go ahead and make a reservation before the puck hits the ice. Parlor St. Paul is here to celebrate the wins and help forget about the losses, and they're here for the long run. This neighborhood establishment is celebrating 6 years of tasty burgers and craft cocktails. On game days, enjoy complimentary valet parking and half off your first 2 tap beers or house wines from puck drop to close. Located on West 7th, it's Parlor St. Paul.
We are gathered here to... what's with the blanket?
Oh, it's my Securian blanket. It's an unsubtle metaphor for the security I feel knowing I have smart insurance and retirement solutions from Securian Financial.
I see. And, sir, do you also trust Securian Financial with your insurance and retirement solutions?
I do.
Prepare for your future. Talk to your employer, affinity group, or a financial professional to get started. Learn more at Securian.com.
Insurance issued by subsidiary companies. Securian Financial Services. Member FINRA.
Passing along energy-saving tips to your kids can make a big difference today and for tomorrow. Teach them to turn lights off when they leave the room, or why it's important to adjust a thermostat, even by a degree or 2. Let your children be in charge and help them understand the value of energy conservation. Learning these simple yet important behaviors at a young age will help them take these energy-saving habits into adulthood. Visit xlenergy.com/ways to save for more ways your family can help conserve energy in your home.
Third period, game tied at 1. And a big frame, obviously, for both teams, but in particular Minnesota, Tom. Calgary right now losing in Toronto. Again, they're on the outside looking in by a hair. And Minnesota just trying to get some good vibes going again, get back in the win column. And this third period is a huge one for Minnesota.
Yeah, it really is. And they need some traction. They need to get something going. I think goals have been early on. I don't care when they score them. Get a win here, boy. That will go a long way to give them that confidence they're looking for.
15 games left, including tonight for Minnesota. Kings have played a couple of fewer games. As right off the hop, the Wild trying to go to work here. Chisholm left side. Swept one down low. Edmondson tucked it around the board. Spurgeon pinched in. Hacked it towards the side of the cage. It ricochets free. And Warren Fogle skates it along. Here's Trevor Moore with a shot. Stopped by Gustafsson. Rebound. Knuckled wide. Trenyon grabs it to Hartman. Hustled along. And Hinostroza taps out the center ice. The Wild from right to left on your radio dial in the third. Kings from left to right. Both teams changing here in the opening minute of the third in a 1-1 game. Adrian Kempe, Swedish-born forward, lost it. Kopitar took it. Penalty call. It looked like Boldy was kind of hooked first, but the call is going to be on Minnesota.
Minnesota, number 12, minor penalty for slashing.
So Boldy's goes to he did not argue the call at all, watching him skate towards the penalty box, but that's the first penalty of this third period, and it comes at just 50 seconds in the period number 3.
So Kempe lifted Boldy's stick. Kopitar swept to the puck, and Boldy just tomahawked down on Kopitar's stick, and well, that then became, I guess, an easy call. So, unfortunately for Minnesota, back to the PK. And Boldy's been killing penalties lately. Here's Fiala left side, deep in the Wild zone. Around to Kempe. Up top, Kopitar takes a look, waits back to Kempe for a drive. He pushed it wide. Freddie Gaudreau, right wing corner, trying to battle with Middleton. The Kings emerge. Fiala up top, Kopitar. Outside the right circle, over to Doughty, back to Kopitar. Right face-off dot. Andrei Kopitar fired one in front, muted by Faber. Kopitar rescued it and connected with Kempe, who's hounded by Nyquist. Right wing hash marks Kopitar up outside the circle to Kempe. Threw one in front, a tip by Doughty, kicked away by Gustafsson. Fiala got to the rebound. To Kempe, back to Fiala, left circle. Toe drag moving a shot, hit his own man Doughty in the low slot. Kuzmenko to it. Then to Doughty. Now Kopitar dancing with it center. Fiala's drive blocked. Jabbing at it, Gaudreau, and he just muscled it out the center.
Well, that's what you want. Just get it out of the zone here, and that gives Minnesota a little more confidence. Also a chance to put a couple of fresh players on the ice.
Doughty crisscrosses and hands the puck to Andrei Kopitar, the Slovenian-born forward. Off to Kempe. Up top, Doughty. Paddles it along Fiala. Few feet outside the left circle. Center point. Doughty on a give and go with Kempe, and his drive is swallowed up by the glove of Gustafsson.
Yeah, big shot by Kempe right into the net. And once again, you have to be cognizant of the fact as a goaltender, where's that puck coming from? I've got to get myself in position. You may not always see it leave the stick of the opponent. At the same time, if you're in a good place, chances are you're going to get a piece of it, and that's exactly what Gus is able to do on that one. That grabs onto that midsection there. That'll hold it and bring the face-off to his immediate left right now. Still 46 seconds in the penalty to Boldy, who's in the box, and he's another guy they got to get going, got to get some traction under him. You look at him in 10 games, no goals, and this is game number 11.
Wild being outshot 25-14, outshot in the 3 previous games as well. The Minnesota Wild as Bogosian off the one draw, hustles it down from the right wing corner. Kings power play with just over a half minute left. It's left back for Byfield. Byfield charging up, taps in, Spurgeon to deal with him. Byfield chunked it around the boards. Trenyon tries to tie it up. He got tripped. And a penalty call.
And there will be a trip call. And it will be in favor of Minnesota. Thank you very much. And here is the call.
Los Angeles 24, minor penalty for tripping.
2:27 the time of that penalty, going against number 24, Philip Deneau. He's one of the guys they count on faceoffs. Also, coming into this game, he's at 52.5%, but last year he had 17 goals and 30 assists in the 78 games he played for the other Kings. So Minnesota will get a chance on the power play once the penalty Boldy expires in 23 seconds.
So the former Blackhawks draft pick in the box. Some 4-on-4 action here, as Tom said. Wild's only goal coming on the power play early in the second. In this brief 4-on-4 sequence, Kings have given up 5 4-on-4 goals. They haven't scored any. The Wild have tallied 2 and allowed 2 of the 4-on-4 variety. Gaudreau and Byfield on the faceoff. Byfield guides it back. Anderson off his end wall. Gavrikov paddles it back for Anderson. Casually carries ahead, navigates a feed to Byfield, who rumbles in, couldn't get past Freddie Gaudreau, took it away. His pass so blocked, look out, Byfield charging to it, but he lost it again, and Middleton just taps through center. Boldy jumps out of the box. Kings change up their personnel. And a brief Minnesota Wild power play. In a 1-1 game, early stages of the third, Anderson hacked at one. It was tapped away by Zuccarello, picked up by Hartman, shoved along for Boldy. He'll poke it around the Kings' end boards. Zuccarello waved and didn't come up with it. Hartman left it in no man's land, and it's wristed down the ice then by Trevor Moore. So Gustafsson leaves it on a tee for Brock Faber, who connects with Marco Rossi. Rossi curls it on the interchange for Boldy. Boldy bursting into the King slot, a little chip and chase. He'll get to it left wing corner, handed along for Zuccarello, bounced off his tape, and Moore again sends it down.
Boldy's got to pick up the pace, no question about it. Just slows right down, and all of a sudden a barren pass goes to the opposition.
50 seconds ago on the power play. Rossi with a full head of steam through center, rifled a feed that clanged off of Hartman, and the Wild have to reset. This time it's Boldy left wing boards, reaching for a puck, but Doughty there first. Boldy leaned on him, separated him from the disc for a moment, but there are the Kings again to support, and Fogle shoots it down.
Still 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to the Kings.
Remember, a couple nights back against the Blues, the Wild had a power play carry over into early stages of the third, and they didn't get much going at all. And eventually lost that game 5-1. Johansson feeds it up for Hinostroza. Taps back for Johansson. Played it to the point. Spurgeon has a lane. Handed along right circle. Hinostroza. Down low Johansson. A backdoor pass deflected. Kemper held it out. Power play about to expire. Here's Spurgeon loaded. Shooting one. And that glanced off a body and went wide. Deneau ready to jump out of the box. Alone in front. Nyquist to the back post for a shot by Johansson. It's blocked. Kings get back to full strength. Nyquist right wing corner to Hinostroza. Couldn't pull the trigger. Deneau able to steer it out the center. Merrill gobbles it up. Hits the red line, twisted it along. Hinostroza couldn't fight past the check. Merrill regroups and peels it back to Gauntz. Shifted to Bogosian, right back to Brendan Gauntz. Red line left side, twisting it in. Almost 5 minutes gone by the third. Giveaway by the Kings. A quick shot by Brazo. Getting that loose puck, but Kemper made the save.
Yeah, that puck came to Brazo. Wasn't quite expecting it to be there, but he takes a shot. Nice high shot, but there was Kemper. As Joe Calla making the save once again. They got 15:04 to go here in the third period. Still a 1-1 game. Shots opening up a little bit more, 25-15 in favor of the Kings.
Gauntz and Hellenius on the face-off. Hellenius getting more comfortable, looking a little quicker out there, according to his head coach Jim Hiller. His NHL career continues to evolve. A shot by Merrill from along the boards, handled by Kemper. Going down the heap was Brendan Gauntz as the Kings turn it over at center. Shore, shy of the red line, flicked it in. Gavrikov knifed it out of midair, sent it to Spence. He'll bounce it along. Bogosian kicked at it. Merrill swats left wing side, didn't get it out. Here's Samuel Hellenius, deep into the Wild zone. Now back at the point, Spence whistled one well wide into the cross corner. Getting to it, Gauntz. Closing on him, Doughty. Ends up down below the Wild goal line. Merrill backhanded it to the right wing corner. Exact Bogosian there. His pass ricocheted around. It comes free for the Kings to gather. Byfield left it back for Spence, faking a shot. Jordan Spence back to Quinton Byfield. His shot caught the glass. Doughty to the carom. Played it up top. Paddled along by Turcotte. Byfield spins, waits for some late help coming. It's Anderson fresh off the bench, cutting past the check. Mikey Anderson shooting one, and Gustafsson able to find it. Excuse me, that was LaFerriere with the bid, and Gustafsson made the save and gets a whistle.
Yeah, LaFerriere was kind of pushed off to the side also. Not a very good shooting angle coming in there from his side, but at the same time, there was Gus to make the save on that one. So that'll bring the face-off to the left of the Minnesota netminder. Very quiet building tonight.
They partied over the weekend, Tom.
I think you're right. I think they did. I hope they're still partying tonight.
Hartman and Byfield on the draw. It's won by Minnesota, controlled by Trenyon, who chisels it along. Kemper came out to move it off the left wing glass. Hartman kicked at it, but the Kings emerged with Byfield. Spinning off the head of Trenyon, left it for LaFerriere. He lost it to Vinny Hinostroza. Hinostroza starts up ice, floats it into the left wing corner. Hartman gathers from Minnesota from low to high. Middleton goes D to D. Faber, a snapshot, found its way through. Kemper made the save.
Now good passing by Minnesota, tape to tape. That gets a shot on that, and also a stoppage and a chance to clean the ice.
13:38 left in regulation. The game's still tied at 1. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
MLB Network Radio is getting you ready for the season, talking with the best players in baseball.
Here with Juan Soto.
These players, they have experience in the NL East and playing New York and everything, so I think it's going to be really fun.
Joined now by Angels outfielder Mike Trout.
I know where I'm at.
I know when I'm out there, I still feel I'm the best player on the field, and that's the whole mindset coming in the spring. Enjoy it, have some fun, and play.
Hear player interviews from all 30 teams right now on the SiriusXM app. Just search Spring Training.
NHL Morning Skate.
Defending Stanley Cup champion, General Manager Bill Zito. You have to be cognizant of the chemistry when you go out and make a potential trade, don't you?
We enjoy a little bit of a benefit now where the room is so strong that they can absorb a lot. We just want seamless guys who come in. Their leaders are Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Bobrovsky. That part, it takes care of itself.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL Play-by-Play on SiriusXM.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favourite team.
Well, it's the T-shirt toss right now that we're looking at. 13:38 to go in the third period. It's a 1-1 game still. Shots 25-18 in favor of the visitors. The face-off deep in the LA zone to the left of Darcy Kemper. And as we all know, Joe, face-offs are critical for Minnesota. And they win in the offensive zone.
Kings won their last road game March 9th in Vegas 6-5. They had dropped their 3 previous contests. Mentioned earlier their struggles on the road this year. Their home record, points percentage-wise, best in the NHL. Is LA offside here? And actually it looks like a high stick violation prior to the offside, so could have been 2 whistles there.
And that'll bring the face-off outside Minnesota's defensive zone by the player bench. Well, we were talking about the LA Kings. Prior to their current record of 5-0-1, they scored 18 goals and gave up 10, but they had played 4 games and lost all 4, giving up 16 goals, I believe, in that stretch. And, the one thing is, when they were losing, it was like the sky is falling, but all of a sudden they turned it around, and now everything is bright and sunny and beautiful.
Long wrister from Middleton that came in from center ice. It's just punched out a play by Darcy Kemper. And Tom, we talk about it's an 82-game marathon. It's a grind, all those terms for the regular season. But you think about sort of the ebbs and the flows in a long year. Just look at the Wild, the injuries, the hot start, the play that cooled off a little bit, then picked back up. 4 Nations break. Now they're struggling again. They're trying to hang on to a playoff spot. I can't imagine what the players go through.
Yeah, and and for most teams, there's peaks and valleys all season long, and when you lose 3 games, you think, oh my goodness, it's terrible, something bad is going to happen. But you come back and you score some goals, and it's a matter of getting the confidence to be able to score those goals, and that's what Minnesota's lacking right now. The effort's been here tonight. They're working hard. And they're tied up in a 1-1 game, and of course they'd like to get that next goal because I don't think it should be more than 1 goal the way things are going at this point.
There's 19 shots for the Wild as they handle a puck. Middleton fires along. Johansson walks in left side, try to drop it back for Zuccarello. That was broken up. Middleton keeps the blue line, has a lane, loads, fires, and that shot tips off of Gavrikov and ends Philip Deneau and ends up in the netting.
Yeah, good shot by number 5 Jake Middleton. Also leads this team in 138 block shots this year, and also he's Minnesota's number 1 defenseman in goals scored, with that being 8, which is his career best. He was originally, I think you said before, Joe, that he was a Los Angeles draft choice, the 7th round back in 2010.
Rossi has Nyquist to his left, Boldy to his right. He won the draw back to Declan Chisholm, left point, handed along Spurgeon, fires one. It tipped off of Rossi and was blocked away by Kopitar. Boldy to the turned over puck by the Kings. It's Boldy around the net of Kemper. Looked to center for Rossi, poked it in front, reaching for it, but unable to get free of the Kings defender in front was Nyquist, as Mikey Anderson had him hog-tied. Puck sent down into the Wild zone. Minnesota goes D to D. Chisholm, a nice pass to Rossi. Swung it along right side, Boldy. Carrying through center, leaned on by Kempe, so he tossed it in. Spence around his end wall. Anderson bats it up the boards. It's rescued by Kopitar. Coming through center, he fanned on his feet. Nyquist picks it up, hits the red line, shakes over the blue line now before connecting with Rossi, who trickled it down low for the chase down to Nyquist. Handed off to Boldy. Boldy is tied up over the right shoulder of Kemper as Spence just leans on him. Gavrikov and Rossi join the scrum momentarily. Boldy now knuckled it free. Here's Rossi coming out left wing side. Turns and cycles it down low. Nyquist trying to step to it. Anderson tied him up. Nyquist fought through it. Muscled it free. Faber. Right wing shot. Tipped in front. Losing his stick with Spence. Boldy got it to the blue paint. It was loose. And the Kings dug it away. Gavrikov will skate them safely ahead and fling it off the boards.
Yeah, good play by Boldy just to get the puck there. And now we're being called, is that an offside call against the LA Kings? That'll keep the faceoff in front of Minnesota bench out of the defensive zone.
So Boldy tipped the shot from Faber, and then falling down, he spun it back in front, and it pinballed off of Rossi. Slid to the left of Kemper, but Gavrikov dug it away from the goal line. It just feels like that's the type of goal the Wild need to kind of break through.
Yeah, they need a dirty goal is what they need. They don't care how it goes in, just as long as it goes in.
The kind that you, unfortunately, from time to time put in your own net, from what I've gathered.
Well, thank you very much for reminding me.
Well, I can only go off the information you provide me.
As a defenseman, some shot, they're just going to go in off your body.
Merrill a shot, lanced off of Kemper awkwardly. The Kings pick it up, slip it along. Hellenius to Turcotte. Alex Turcotte trying to flip one free, batted down by Bogosian, picked up again by Turcotte, leaned on Brazo, he fought through it. Back of the net now Jeannot. Tanner Jeannot, pressured by John Merrill. Jeannot stopping and starting. The Saskatchewan native flings it down into the corner. Bogosian tapped along. Brazo, the feed for Gaunt, so bang it off the boards just out the center. Picking it up Shore over the red line, snaps it in. 10.5 to go.
Yeah, good play by Shore and 5 fresh players back in the ice in Minnesota.
Kings change as well. Fiala picks up the puck. Full head of steam for Kevin Fiala. Racing through center. See if Green staring him down, and that forces this play offside with 10:20 left in the third.
Well, join us on April the 6th for our golf ticket pack. The package includes a game ticket, an exclusive Unreal Wild hat, and a meet and greet with actor Christopher, or as you know him, Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. Space is limited, so secure your spot today at wild.com/pack.
Hang on a second. Shooter McGavin's going to be here?
Yeah, apparently so.
Let's get him on air.
Oh, joy. Let's do it.
We'll watch the movie first together, TR.
Oh, is there a movie out like that?
Here's Hiddlestroth carrying ahead.
I just saw Ben Hur the other day. It was great.
He'll lift it in. What's that about?
I don't know. It's just some chariot turning around the horse.
Right point, Spurgeon. Worked it down low. Hiddlestroth coming out left circle. Hiddlestroth spinning one in front. And that hit a couple of bodies before the Kings are able to fire it ahead. Spurgeon back, tripped up by Fiala. Fiala left the puck back. LaFerriere curls left side, looking for some late help. And his pass handcuffed Byfield to the left of Gustafsson. The Declan Chisholm for Minnesota twisted around his end wall. Spurgeon charged to it, tried to bottle it up, and then passed it free to Chisholm. He sent a left wing breakout feed to Trenyon. Rink wide to Spurgeon. Hacked back to Trenyon with both teams changing. He'll play it back through his own slot to Chisholm. Declan Chisholm frisbees it to Spurgeon. Pass off the left wing boards Johansson. Carves it back to Chisholm. Finally the Wild get out the center as Spurgeon feeds it off the boards. Freddie Gaudreau had it knocked away by Deneau. Deneau comes up with his puck. His pass was blocked. Zuccarello winds it in. Kemper comes out. Smacks it along. Gave it away. Gaudreau. Right circle. Centered. And Johansson couldn't find it. Kings can't clear again. Johansson held the line for a moment. Now Fogle forces the issue out the center. Philip Deneau. Pushing it up ice, looking for more. Reaching there first to get it was Middleton. Supporting nicely Gaudreau. To Johansson. His pass stolen by Fogle. He'll whip it deeper to the Wild end. Faber crushes it along Zuccarello. Middle of the ice pass Johansson. A 1-on-2. Marcus Johansson. A left circle wrister. Blocked to the corner. Spence to jab it along. And the Kings start up ice with Andrei Kuzmenko. The Russian-born forward carves it back for Clark. The defenseman carrying in. Fanned on his feet. Nearly got it back. Faber now spins off the pressure of Clark. Waits a few moments and whips a backhanded pass to Rossi, who turns and flicks it out the center. Wild changing again. Just over 8 minutes left in a 1-1 game. Kings got the first one somewhat early in the first. The Wild early in the second. even the score. Both teams on the board via power play goal. Boldy lost it at center. Kempe bats it in. Chisholm behind his own net. Rolling puck giving him some trouble. He'll work it to the right wing corner. Spurgeon just whacks it along. Nyquist gloved it down. Gained the center line. Crisscrossing with Boldy. Handed off that way. Boldy a spinorama. Anderson leans on him. Boldy out of the right wing corner. Protects the puck. Fed it up top for Spurgeon. Spurgeon with a shot. Muted by Kopitar. It comes free. Nyquist. Down low. Boldy a shot blocked by the sliding Anderson, who may have just saved a goal. And a whistle as the puck is in Anderson. It may have impaled him, that shot, with 7:32 to go.
Yeah, Boldy in a good position to the left of the goaltender, takes a shot, but there was Anderson able to make the save. He's still down on the ice also. Waiting to see if there's a trainer coming out to assist him, whether he's hurt or not.
The puck hit him in a very prone spot, the replay show, after he had lost his stick, but he may have just kept this game tied at 1. 7:32 left. You're listening to Wild Hockey, presented by XL Energy.
Wild fans, score up to $2,600 in tax credits when you upgrade your home comfort system by purchasing a qualifying Bryant Evolution heating and cooling system. And with a 10-year replacement warranty from Bryant, you'll have peace of mind for a decade. Contact your local Bryant dealer and ask about tax credits, local rebates, and financing available for qualified buyers. Visit Bryant.com for more details. Bryant, whatever it takes, official heating and cooling company of the Minnesota Wild.
Wake up at 5. Lace up their skates. You want to see them win state. After all, that's all your kid dreams about. And a strain, sprain, or break doesn't have to take that away. Tria Orthopedic Urgent Care is here for them 7 days a week with no appointment needed. And with Save My Spot, you can reserve your place in line and show up closer to check-in time. With Tria by your side, your body can do amazing things. Visit tria.com/SaveMySpot to learn more.
Scoreboard update.
The Flames look like they're going to drop their third in a row. Tonight they're in Toronto and they're getting hammered. 6-1 is the score with 67 seconds left to go in regulation. It's a final in Boston. The Sabres use overtime to beat the Bruins 3-2. Alex Tuck, the overtime game winner, with 11 seconds left to go in OT. The Lightning take out the Flyers 2-rip in Tampa, and the Devils double up the Blue Jackets 2-1 at Nationwide Arena. That's it for now. Back to Joe and Tom.
Yeah, it's interesting also. After tonight, we've got 14 games to go. We have 8 at home, 6 on the road. And 5 of those 14 teams are ahead of Minnesota in the standings. The rest are behind them. So Minnesota should win their fair share of games there or get points out of there. We'll see if that's the case. Right now, the most important task at hand is remaining 7:32 of this third period with the game tied at 1 apiece.
Homestand continues Wednesday with the Seattle Kraken in town. Kraken were the Wild's second home ice opponent of the young season at the time. Here's Fiala for the Kings, spinning off a check over the blue line. Got it to Anderson for a shot that deflected off a body wide. Hartman battles, trying to stash it ahead. Did force it free. Hinostroza to Trenyan, and Yakov Trenyan swings it off the right wing wall, chases to it deep in the King zone. Got away from Anderson for a moment. Doughty was there to support. Now Mikey Anderson batting one free. LaFerriere closed on. Faber swatted his pass out of midair, and back for the Wild's control. Trenyan found the late help coming. Middleton left circle with a shot tipped wide. Hinostroza let it come free for Freddie Gaudreau, fresh off the Wild bench. Poked it down below the goal line. Byfield bumped, able to emerge for LA, and Quentin Byfield off the top of the dasher safely through center. Chisholm grabs it, rumbles ahead, and rattles it in. Declan Chisholm will get to it first. Chisholm tried a sharp angle try on Kemper. Good attempt there, but Kemper makes a save.
Yeah, a little give and go for himself there off the back wall, and Chisholm does a nice job of securing the puck right to the left of Kemper. Goes in, but there's no opening on that one. Kemper just grabs onto it. That'll get the face-off to his left. 6:32 to go here in the third. Still 1-1. Both goals were scored on the power play. Back in the first period, it was Kempe with his 28th. In the second period, it was Hartman getting his 9th goal of the season. Hartman's been very good also in the draws tonight, Joe. He's done a nice job for Minnesota.
Got 9 points his last 17 games now. Of course, that long 8-game suspension in there. Edmondson scales a puck ahead off the face-off. Kings tap it free, Jeannot to Turcotte. He'll float it deep. Merrill came back, took the hit. Bogosian now Punching it along, Johansson curls it free for Freddie Gaudreau, who fights his way to center, gains the red line, and dumps it in. Back is Clark, pressured by Zuccarello. The Kings able to swing it to the left wing side. Turcotte lifting a pass ahead, batted away by Merrill, grabbed by Bogosian, and pumped off the right wing boards. The Wild look for a partial change. Kings do the same as Edmondson goes to Clark. Brant Clark carries the Kings ahead, finds the red line, and rifles it in. Chisholm, deep in his own right wing corner, wrapped up and taken off the puck. Moore squeezed it free for Deneau. To the point, Anderson, D to D. Doughty barely keeping the right blue line. The right point, I should say. Got it down low for Moore. Moore trying to spin away from Merrill. Moore works it to the point, Doughty. Doughty back to Moore. Doughty one to activate. Kings trying to center now with Fogle. That hit the skates of Chisholm. Down below the goal line, a loose puck jostled free by Nyquist. Boldy handed along. Rossi scooped out the center, not very far. The Kings quickly re-attack as the Wild were trying to finish a change. A drop pass over for Moore went awry. Rossi was tripped up.
Yep.
Where's the whistle?
It is. It's going to be called.
Kings had the puck for a few seconds there. Finally, the whistle halts play.
So Rossi draws the penalty. Here's the call.
LA number 12, 2 minutes for tripping.
So Minnesota back in the power play. See if they can make something work right now. And that's going to be Moore going to the penalty box right now. The veteran now in his 9th year in the NHL. So Minnesota will have a man advantage and a little more time with the ice being scraped.
Final timeout of regulation. It's a 1-1 game. 5:12 to go. Minnesota the man advantage. When we come back, you're listening to Wild Hockey presented by XL Energy.
When disaster strikes your commercial or multifamily property, every second counts. That's why property managers and business owners trust Clean Response. Clean Response is the Midwest premier provider of comprehensive water damage and fire damage restoration services. Our expert team is available 24/7 to minimize disruption and help restore your property after loss. With decades of experience and cutting-edge technology, we handle everything from small incidents to large-scale emergencies. Visit cleanresponse.com or call 651-646-3408 to learn more.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease. It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
There's only one thing better than going to a Minnesota Wild game, and for me, that's breakfast. My breakfast always has to include Thomas's. They've got the crispy, warm nooks and crannies of a Thomas's English muffin, or sometimes I'll go with a crunchy on the outside Thomas's bagel. For me, Thomas's is the best way to start my day, and it should be yours too. With over 130 years of breakfast under their belt, Thomas's is ready to bring your breakfast to another level, because with Thomas's, breakfast tastes better.
Minnesota in the power play, deep in the LA zone.
Hartman, Rossi, Boldy, Zuccarello, and Faber. Kings win the draw and get it past Faber and all the way down. A knuckling, rolling puck that's set up by Gustafsson for the control of Brock Faber. 4th in the NHL in average time on ice coming in. He'll leave it back for Ross. Spun it along Boldy, cuts past some trouble, nearly lost the puck, then had to dish it off the boards and whistle it around. Rossi tipped it along. Hartman, who has the Wild goal, snapped one in front, glanced away by the shin pads of Gavrikov. Zuccarello hammers it around the boards. Here's Hartman, down to the goal line, Boldy. Matt Boldy, cross ice, Zuccarello, left circle, fire the shot, he scores! Matt Zuccarello! With 4:38 to go, the Wild have a 2-1 lead.
Well, that's where it's going to get gritty out here. No question about it. What a shot by Zuccarello. Also, he's on the left side. He's got that long stick, a little bit of a curve on that. But you watch when he comes in, he takes that shot, and he's picking the corner. He's looking, Mark. You know, Minnesota controlling the puck in the offensive zone. And he just got about one step, and then he looks. He found the opening, and with that, it's in the net. This goal coming at 15:22 of the third to give Minnesota the lead.
No-look dish by Boldy through the low slot. It handcuffed Zuccarello a hair, Tom, but he He just kind of adjusted his body so well, picked his head up, and beat Kemper short side.
Yeah, and what he's looking for, he's got a number of things to think about when he's trying to get that puck in position and take the shot, Joe. It's not just one thing he has to do. There's a couple of things. Number one, get himself in position, but make sure you know where the opening is.
So the Wild have their first lead. The power play has 2 goals here tonight. That's the second time in the last couple of games that the Wild power play has connected multiple times. Icing on the Kings.
Yeah, Zuccarello, that'll be a 16th goal of the season with Boldy getting 1 assist, and Hartman will get the others. As I just said before, Hartman's had a very strong game, in the face-off circle especially, so got to use him out there.
Thursday against the Rangers, earlier in this homestand, the Wild scored multiple power play goals for the first time since January the 15th against Edmonton, and they get 2 more here now tonight. Fiala to a loose puck off the defensive zone draw, cuts ahead for the Kings, finds Laferriere back in front. It got all the way through to Gustafsson, who swats it away. The Wild here dart ahead, a 3-on-3 through center ice, Hinostroza to Trenyan. The late help coming as Middleton will bat it down low.
Assisted by number 12, Matt Boldy, and number 38, Ryan Hartman. Time of the power play goal, 15-22. Zuccarello.
Byfield for the Kings over the offensive blue line, swirls it around the Wild end wall. Trenyan golfs it out the center. It's picked up by Jordan Spence. Inside his own blue line, hacked it along Doughty, given back to Spence. Pressured, he just pushed it ahead. Here's Deneau charging into his backhand, fired a shot tipped wide by the Wild D. 3.5 minutes left. Minnesota in front 2-1. Kings with a 5-game winning streak coming in. Doughty at the right point, waits for a loose puck. Lost it out the center. Took his eye off of it.
I believe that goal also, that's the 100th goal for Zuccarello in a Wild's jersey.
Great call, TR. Doughty now carries along. He's been the NHL's leader in time on ice since 2008-2009 as Drew Doughty. Chisholm off the glass right side, safely through center. Back for the loose puck, Jordan Spence. Both teams changing on the fly. 3 minutes left in regulation. The Wild from right to left on your radio dial, protecting a 2-1 lead. Clark feathers it up. There goes Kemper to the bench for the extra attacker. Early pull here by Kings head coach Jim Hiller. Faber right wing corner loss to the Kopitar. Kopitar back of the net, Kuzmenko. Stick handling with it. Pried it along for Kempe. To the point it comes Clark. Back to Kempe at the blue line right side. Across the stripe, Adrian Kempe shooting one, blocked by Rossi. Clark to the Karam left wing corner from his vantage point. Tried to center. Cut off by Faber. Given along to Middleton, who pitchforked it up. Not out. Great keep by Kopitar. Look out, it's Byfield. Left circle. Quentin Byfield from the goal line. Around the net of Gustafsson. He'll find Fiala. Up top it comes Kopitar. Empty net for the Kings. To Fiala. Centering feed. And a shot by Kuzmenko was fought off in front. 2:12 to go. Wild in front by a goal. Kings with the empty net. A steal by Rossi. He'll flick it ahead out through center. Kempe back to pick it up. Wild hustling off on a change. Kings a couple of fresh bodies out as well. Kempe navigates along. Pries it in. Spurgeon able to steal. Flicked it off the boards. It's batted down by Boldy. Forced away of Rossi. He'll go through his own slot. Bogosian hacks it ahead and got it out the center. $1:47 to go. Wild not nearly out of the woods yet. Ton of time left for LA. Here's Fiala from left to right on your radio dial. Lost it. Freddie Gaudreau to the empty net. And he missed by a few feet wide past the post. To the right from his vantage point, it's ice.
Yeah, you want that goal also, but there's a lot of time remaining, 1:36. And if you can get that goal, that really slows things down. But right now, the face-off is going to be so important for Minnesota in the defensive zone. We talk about getting that draw, and hopefully that will happen. Minnesota's come back, and they have now won 55% of the draws in their zone. And that, once again, I'm looking at Hartman. He's won 68% of the draws so far in this hockey game.
Gaudreau to take this one. He leads the team in face-off wins this season, but that's in large part because Eriksson Ek has missed so much time. He's usually the Wild leader in that department. Kings muscle this one back. Doughty sorted in front. Fogle trying to twist the shot free. It's ricocheting around the Wild slot. Kempe picked it up. His pass, though, jammed Doughty. Doughty grabs it, curls along the blue line. Filtered it free, Laferriere. Alex Laferriere back to Drew Doughty. Fakes a shot. Zuccarello closes. Doughty twirled it behind his back. Laferriere to center point. Doughty loads. Fires. Gustafsson the save. Rebound poked away and sent out to center ice by Gaudreau. Just over a minute left. Kings reset at center. Doughty cranks it around the glass. Looking for Bogosian. A bouncing puck gave him some trouble. Laferriere tipped it along Kempe. In the corner. Tried to center. Jabbed away by Spurgeon to the empty net. Zuccarello. Yes. Score! Excuse me. It was Johansson from long range. And Marcus Johansson may have
he certainly has, Joe. There's no question about it. And take that look, and you're hoping, you know that net is down there, and the players have a pretty good idea of where that net is. And you make your turn there, and Johansson is able to get one and just slither it into the far net from a long ways out. And with that, Minnesota has a 2-goal lead. They finally have taken the lead in this contest. And this is a huge goal with 55.3 seconds remaining. And this could be the one that changes things around and how Minnesota feels going to the next game also, Joe.
9 points in the last 12 games now for Johansson. And the Wild, starved for goals, have scored 3 unanswered. Clark headmans for Helene. Has had it tapped away by Gauns. Kemper's back in net for LA.
Johansson. Assisted by number 46, Jared Spurgeon. Time of the goal, 19:04.
Spurgeon inching closer to 300 career assists. Now he's got 2 more tonight. Half-minute left. Kemper still between the pipes. Kings working to the left point. Blocker save. Gustafson on the long drive by Spence. Janot to the point. Spence labeled it along. Clark. Back to Spence. His chance tips wide. Gustafson with his goal stick. Chunked it away from trouble. Middleton bounces into Turcotte. 15 seconds to go. Gauntz battles for it. It leaks around. Here is Janot. On his backhand to his forehand. The crowd rising as Turcotte left side deep into the Wild zone. Around the net. Threw it in front. Nobody home. And that is going to do it. Gustafson, one final save at the horn. And the Minnesota Wild get back in the win column. Boy, do they need this one. Power play strikes twice, an empty netter late, and they beat the Kings 3-1 here in St. Paul.
Yeah, this is a big contest for Minnesota. We said that at the beginning, Joe. What's going to happen here? By winning this game, all of a sudden, what's done in the past, they've forgotten about it. Now they're looking ahead. They're not looking behind anymore. And this is a huge 2 points for Minnesota. And Gus has once again been terrific in this game. And good play all the way with Johansson getting a goal. Hartman was good in this game. I mean, everyone contributed, and that's what you're looking for, a full team effort.
It was something John Hines talked about, Tom, this morning, that you had to kind of lean into the team game, right? If you're not scoring and you're a goal scorer, you got to block shots. You got to cheer on your teammates. You got to do the little things. He just kept using that phrase, team game, and they found a way tonight. You're right. Everybody chipped in.
And you know where the prize is. You want to get to that prize, and that prize is 2 points. And Minnesota was able to finally get 2 points in this one and move them up and take some of that pressure off everyone, the coaching staff, certainly the players, the media, and the fans.
38th win for the Wild, one shy of last year's mark. Now 81 points in the standings. Vancouver idle. They lost last night at home to Utah. We know the Blues have been red hot. We saw them a couple of nights back. They're off tonight as well after winning first here Saturday, then at home yesterday against the Ducks. The Utah Hockey Club won last night in Vancouver. They are sniffing around a playoff spot. So this one with a bunch of teams idle that are trying to chase down Minnesota. This one was a big one, and the Wild get it done. And, of course, Calgary lost earlier tonight. So, again, the onus was on Minnesota to take care of business tonight at home. It's been tricky at times at home this year. They scored the fewest goals on home ice out of any NHL team, but 3 tonight was much needed, man, and they got it done.
Yeah, it really was. And, you know, I'm just watching the fans here, how appreciative they are of the fact that Minnesota is able to win this contest. And by, 2 goals, I mean, that's a nice stretch for them. But once again, Gus was so good for Minnesota. He did what he had to do, stopping 29 out of the 30 shots that came his way.
The Wild now points in 14 of their last